Finally. Finally, right? Finally. I'm here. I haven't pushed back a live stream so many times in the past. Like, this is the first time. I've been really busy, guys. And it's no excuse. I've been genuinely busy. I just took a look at the live stream and I have 50 likes already. This has never happened. How does a live stream have 50 likes and it haven't even started yet? Never happened before. So that's a record in itself. This has to be one of the most anticipated live streams on this channel ever, because the title race has been blown wide open again, where maybe a month ago it looked as if City were going to make a mockery of the league and win it by 20 points or so, 15 to 20 points. But now Liverpool are closing in within 3 points of Manchester City, and the Liverpool fans dreaming and believing again that they could win their second title in 30 years, the Premier League era. They're sniffing it. They got their tails up. They want it badly. Seems like they probably want it more than Manchester City, right? And that's the big talk. That's the big talking point right now. And we are going to cover that in week 26. The roundup. What an epic weekend of matches. I got to say, those matches on the weekend were really good. I couldn't watch all the games, of course, because on Saturday we had about 6 games playing at the same time, and of course I couldn't. And we had 2 games on Sunday. I should have actually done this live stream on Saturday night. I should have done an emergency live stream and forget about the games that were played on Sunday. And then on Sunday, I could have talked about those 2 games. I should have got this done a long time ago. But everything happens for a reason, and I'm finally here. I even pushed back the live stream today an hour because I was taking a nap. I had a long day. I took a nap. I almost overslept. My wife had to wake me up. So I'm finally here. So I'd like to take the time to say big up to everybody. We're going to be here for a while tonight because there's some matches coming up in the middle of the week. I'm going to do like a mini preview of those games as well. So I hope everybody stick around, man. It's going to be an epic one, man. Stick around. How's everybody feeling right about now? We got even 40 plus people in here. These live streams usually take some time to build up. But goddamn, you guys have come out in your numbers right now. You know what I mean? When Man City was actually running away with the thing, yeah, people disappeared. Nobody really came through to the stream. Now Liverpool are alive, and they're coming for the title. Yeah, people come out in their numbers. Yeah, I know how you guys are, you know what I'm saying? So big up to each and every person in here right about now. Adam the Great, how are you feeling, bro? Nice to see you in here. I know it's late over in Croatia. It's about 2 a.m. right about now, 2:30 a.m. Nice of you to stop by and say what's up. So Tottenham is a bogey team for City. It seems like I still think City would win the league, but it will be really tight. We got an Asian Delight, Jaylani, Jamin, Owain Dilworth in the house. We got Eric in the house as well. Jordan Hyman, Legan Sweet. Who else we got in here? Asian Delight in the house. Where you at? LFC Asian Delight. God damn, you changed your name 100 times. Big up to Flynn, the Lego Dude, Online School, everybody in the house right about now, man. Jamal Warren, appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure, if you haven't yet liked the video, make sure you do so. We're going to have some fun. I had to pull out the, jersey from a couple seasons ago, the Puma jersey, match up with the Puma cap, and we're looking spiffy. We're ready to talk match week 26. So let's go over, and you can see the headline reads, Kane delivered a center forward masterclass. Alan Shearer's team of the week. So look, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to get into each and every one of these fixtures. I have notes for everything except the City versus Tottenham game. No notes. None. I got to wing that one because I couldn't find the time to write down nothing. And I didn't even watch the replay of the game, like the highlights. I chose not to watch highlights. I didn't want to be reminded, and I got whenever I get to that game, it's gonna be a good one, man. You guys are gonna enjoy that one. So let's get to the results and let's talk about the other results. We're gonna talk about 8 results before we get to Liverpool versus Norwich and Manchester City, Tottenham, of course. So, bear with me, stick around, and it's imperative that we talk about the other teams, and we do this for every single live stream, you know what I mean? And I can't just talk about the hot ones and forget about the other ones because you guys won't stick around for these ones, you know what I'm saying? So the first game that we're going to start with, let's start with some of the games that we could actually run through a bit faster, and let's go with the Everton-Southampton match here, where Southampton defeated Everton 2-0. I actually predicted a draw for this match from what I could recall, and this Southampton team has been performing very, very well lately, man. You got to give it to them. That's a big win. And that's another home win where their home form has been very, very good this season. So 2-0. Stuart Armstrong in the 52nd minute. Shane Long, of all people, in the 84th minute. And this was a rather, when I watched the highlights for this game, it was one-sided. I don't think I've seen such a one-sided highlight package where I didn't see anything at all from Everton. Like nothing in the highlight package from Everton here. And I know Liverpool fans must be loving what Everton are going through right about now, because they're going through absolute hell right now in the league, where they are now dragged into the relegation scrap. Like Newcastle and Everton are on the same amount of points, 22 points. This is absolutely ridiculous for Everton, a team that has been a staple of the English top flight, man. So look, for this game, let's just take a quick look at the lineups, take a quick look at, who featured in this match. Livramento came in for Perot, 2 quality fullbacks that started their Premier League careers this season. And you could see Salisu, Bednarek, these guys have been forming a very good partnership. I like that Kyle Walker-Peters is finally coming of age because, he's a talent and unlucky not to make it at Tottenham. Maybe it's a good thing that he didn't. Romeo, former Chelsea man, ever present in the midfield along with James Ward-Prowse, Stuart Armstrong, back fit, and definitely providing a lot of impetus for Southampton there. Mo Elyounoussi, back from his loan stint. Che Adams and Armando Broja formed the attacking duo up top. Look, the attacking duo for Everton, Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, they drew blanks on the day because, they're just not in form, especially Calvert-Lewin coming back from an injury. Donny van de Beek, the new smell is wearing off, it seems, because nothing game for him. Anthony Gordon is one to watch for the future. Alan and Iwobi. And the defense wasn't that effective on the day. Jordan Pickford, very questionable in goal these days. So, look, solid home record for Southampton this season. You got to give it to them. Broja with a chance in the 6th minute. Saved by Pickford. Bright start by Southampton. More dominant in the first 25 minutes of the game. And there was a chance in the 31st minute. A corner from and Livramento shot saved at close range. So good work by Pickford on that instance. Kyle Walker-Peters with a good chance, but wide 0-0 at halftime in this game. Then the goal came early in the second half where Southampton continued their dominance over the Toffees. Romeo, he got a ball after a sloppy giveaway by Everton in the third of the field. And Che Adams got the ball, laid off to Stuart Armstrong, who scored his first Premier League goal this season. After a brilliant one, he executed in the FA Cup against Coventry to give Southampton the lead. So Pickford beaten at his near post, and you know what they say, should never get beaten at your near post. Che Adams with a chance in the 58 minutes, saved by Pickford. So it was a very dominant game by Southampton, and Ralph Hasenhüttl could actually be less tense on the touchline going forward as he keeps picking up these great results. I made a note that in the 82nd minute, I don't know who put together the highlight package, but Everton had absolutely nothing in the highlight package. Nothing. And I've never seen such a one-sided highlight package in the past. Second goal came by the substitute Shane Long. Shane Long, of all people, came off the bench and scored with his first touch after a cross into the box by Livramento, and he scored. So, super sub by Ralph Hasenhüttl, and both players who scored in the game actually pick up their first goals of the season. So, quality stuff, man. Quality stuff by Southampton. 10 away games without a win for Everton, and 4 games without a loss now for the Saints. So brilliant stuff, man. They're building up a head of steam as they are now 8 points away. 8 points away from safety. And there was a period in the season where we thought they could have been dragged into a relegation scrap. So for this game, no shots on target for Everton. None. Which is absolutely ridiculous, man. None. 9 shots, none on target, 44% of the ball. Southampton had 19 shots at goal, 11 on target, 56% of the ball. And they deserve to win the game without a doubt. Everton in a relegation scrap with Frank Lampard in charge. He has never been in such a situation where he was in charge of Derby. Did well, almost got promoted with them, and then got the Chelsea job. Maybe you could say he was in a relegation scrap with Chelsea, maybe. But nah. Then he got sacked, and this is the first time he's really in a situation like this in his very young club career as a manager. So Southampton into the top 10 with 8 points away from safety, which is very, very good, man. Quality stuff, 10th, 32 points, 7 wins, 11 draws, and 7 losses. Only 7 losses. West Ham has 8 losses. Arsenal got 7. Wolves got 8 losses now. Tottenham has 8. So it just gives you a perspective of how well Southampton are doing this season. Only 1 loss more than Manchester United. So what they need to do is get that goal difference into the positive, where it's a -5 right now. And you could, improve that by scoring a lot more goals. So brilliant stuff indeed. If you see Kyle Walker-Peters listed as a king of the match, and he's been very good for them lately. So look, in terms of these teams and the next games they got coming up for Southampton, they do play Norwich, so that's not a bad team to play coming off of a good win against Everton here. Then they do have West Ham in the 5th round of the FA Cup. Then they do have Aston Villa and Newcastle. So they got some nice fixtures coming up. And you talk about Watford, Burnley, Leeds coming up after those. So, look, Southampton would look to fight for a Europa League place maybe, you know what I mean? As for the Toffees in Everton, look, things are not going to get easier. The next game is against Manchester City. And you're coming up against a wounded Manchester City. That is not the best team to face right now. Or who knows? Maybe they'll inflict back-to-back losses on not Liverpool, Manchester City, right? So it's going to be an interesting one. Boham Wood in the FA Cup, Tottenham and Wolves coming up next in the league. So Everton, guys, it's not looking good for them at all. They don't have a manager with experience, and it could get really ugly. You're talking about Tottenham, Wolves, Newcastle in good form. Watford strapping in out at the bottom as well. West Ham, United. These are the next fixtures. Look, man. Look. It's going to be tough for Everton. You're talking about they do after those. You have Crystal Palace, Liverpool, Chelsea, Leicester. I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. I think they might just survive, seeing that the teams around them are not doing well. But it's going to be an interesting one to follow, though. I just want to put that out there. So, big up to Flynn, $2.99, Super Chat Aussie. The Tottenham curse is really bad for you guys. Indeed, man. Indeed. Thank you very much for the Super Chat. Do appreciate it. And Keep it coming. Definitely. So big up to each and every one of y'all in here right about now, man. We're gonna keep it moving. Definitely gonna keep it moving. We got a lot of games to talk about, and we won't linger too long on all these, matches that you guys don't really want to hear about these games. You guys want to hear about City, Tottenham. You guys want to hear what I have to say. You guys want to hear what I have to say about Liverpool and Norwich game. That's what you want, but you gotta wait. Let's move on to the next one. Aston Villa 0, Watford 1. Wow, I couldn't believe it when I saw this result, that Watford actually picked up a rare win, and Villa's indifferent form continues. Yeah. Gotta give it to Watford here, man. Roy Hodgson, first win in the Premier League for Roy Hodgson. Emmanuel Dennis, the king of the match. He has been their player of the season so far. Musa Sissoko has been involved in everything Watford as well. So he definitely plays a part. He did get a chance that he put wide, but he's not a goal scorer. We know that. We definitely know that. So, look, I actually predicted a win for Aston Villa from what I could recall. And they have been letting me down the last couple of games, man. I don't know what's, it seems like that Coutinho magic has worn off. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. Really don't know what's going on with Villa right now. It seems like that Steven Gerrard magic, is gone. Maybe not. Maybe I'm jumping the gun with that one. But I did predict a 2-1 win for Villa. I actually found that prediction. A 2-1 win was my prediction, but Watford with the victory. So, look, in terms of the lineups here, because I'm getting into the habits of actually talking lineups. So, one change for Aston Villa. Danny Ings coming in for Ollie Watkins. And for Watford, Imran Louza in, Kayambe out, Ismail Assar in, Juraj Kuchka out with a slight injury. 15th minute of the game, great move by Watford. Dennis, very skillful, but the shot saved by Emi Martinez. Big chance for Watford. Villa played well, but lacked the quality on the day. And I have to say, Watford took their chance. And it could have went anyway. This is a game that could have went any which way. I don't have a lot of notes written down for this one. Not a lot in the highlight package. But it was a back and forth affair. A very open game of football. But Villa just didn't take their chances. The goal came in the 78th minute. It was a good goal for Watford in that Ismail Assar being involved in things once again is providing that positive spark for Watford, because during the time when he was injured after that big win against Manchester United, Watford really struggled. So maybe he's the man that, could actually help save Watford survive the drop this season. And when he got that ball, he was given too much time on the ball to actually perfect that cross, and that's what he did. And it was a thunderous header by Emmanuel Dennis, who's had his best season ever. I'm talking, this guy had a poor season. The last couple seasons, it was horrible for this guy. This signing was a puzzling signing if you really go back and look at the stats. It was a head scratcher. You'd be like, why are they signing this guy? You know what I mean? He's not scoring goals. They took a gamble on him, and it's definitely paid off. But Saul should have been closed down for that move. And the ball wasn't defended well at all, but it was brilliantly attacked by Emmanuel Dennis, the Nigerian. So 81st minute, cleverly had a shot saved by the goalkeeper, and Ismail Assar to Josh King, and a point-blank range save as well by the goalkeeper, Emi Martinez, there as well. So if it wasn't for Emi Martinez, it could have get a bit uglier. But Villa just didn't create enough and take their chances. And it was a strong finish to the game by Watford. Only their second clean sheet as well this season from what I could recall, after that 0-0 draw against Burnley. So things are definitely on the up since Roy Hodgson has taken charge, right? They're now 18th, still 4 points off the safety, but there's some positive signs, you know what I'm saying? Hodgson has definitely come in and tightened things up there at the back. So let me see, when did Hodgson come in? Let me just take a look and see when Hodgson came in. All right, Ranieri took charge of the Newcastle 1-1 draw. I think he came in when they lost, after the loss to Norwich. Yep, so they lost to Norwich, and then the game against Burnley was Ranieri's first match in charge in the Premier League. Not Ranieri, Hodgson, and that one was a draw. The next one, they lost narrowly to West Ham. Then they lost to Brighton 2-0, but then they have a win. First in a while. So that's 4 points in 4 games under Roy Hodgson, which is not the best, but still, that's what, 33%? 33%, not bad at all. Not bad. That's they're looking positive there. Very positive result for Watford. And if you want to go back to the last Watford win in the Premier League, that has to be the win against Manchester United on November 20th, which is absolutely ridiculous if you ask me. So, way to go, Watford. Way to go. Great result. And they look to scrap it out at the bottom. In terms of stats, guys, Aston Villa had 20 shots at goal. Only 1 on target. So, when I told you they lacked the quality in the final third, even with players like Jacob Ramsey, who did get a couple chances, Philip Coutinho, Danny Ings, John McGinn and co. They just couldn't, produce the goods on the day. And the results have been very, very indifferent, where they lost to Newcastle narrowly, 1-0. They drew at Leeds United, allowing, Leeds to come back in the game after going, what was that? They were, 3-1 up? Ridiculous. You see what I'm saying? So this complacency and inconsistency that's creeping into Aston Villa game, it needs to go. It needs to go. You see what I'm saying? They did beat Everton, but they lost to Brentford, lost to United in the FA Cup, and pick up a draw against United in the league. So, up and down results for Aston Villa. So for them, Steven Gerrard and Villa, they don't need to panic right now. They are 12th. They do have 27 points, 13 points off safety. I think they'll be all right. They just need some positive results going forward. And in terms of their games coming up, they do have Brighton. Not a bad team to play. Brighton are going through a slump right now with their defensive issues. With Lewis Dunk, red carded, Dan Burns sold, new partnership of Veltman and Duffy. I'll talk about that soon. And they do have Southampton, Leeds. So they have games that are winnable. So they don't need to press the panic button and get dragged into the relegation scrap. You just need to, go back to the drawing board and pick up those points, because they do have a lot of quality in their team. And they just have to have faith in the team and just be patient. So in terms of Watford, who are 18th right now, 4 points behind Newcastle in 17th, they need wins. And their next game is coming up against Crystal Palace. A winnable match, to say the least. That is a winnable game. And they have the return leg against Manchester United, where they look to do the double over the Red Devils. Arsenal, Wolves, some tough games coming up. Very, very tough games. And they do have a tough finish to the season as well. So, let's see. Let us see. They're capable of the spectacular. And with Roy Hodgson, a knowledgeable manager who's been around for a very, very long time, does have the know-how to survive a situation like this. So, Watford 1, Aston Villa 0. Those are my thoughts. Let's see if Watford survives a drop. Let's see where Aston Villa finishes next season as they look to work on this very good squad going into the 2022-23 Premier League season. So, big up to each and everybody in the house right about now, man. You guys are the real deal. We got Ryan LFC in the house. How are you doing, Ryan? Nice to see you in here, bro. You've been saying Liverpool would be the champions of England all season. So it ain't nothing new, bro. It ain't nothing new. But nice to see you around here. Appreciate you coming through and keep doing your thing on your channel, man. You know what I'm saying? Nice to see you blossom and do well. So we got Hot Chili in the house. Who else we got? We got TJW, Jordan Hyman in the house. How you doing, Jordan Hyman? Who else we got in here? Robbie Watson. Do you think Chelsea can win the league? Bro, that ain't happening. Come on, man. That's not the topic right now. Victor Jomo in the house. How you doing, man? Nice to see you in here. Guys, make sure you like up the video. How many likes you got? We got 87 likes. I bit my tongue today, so it's a bit sore. Which is pretty weird. Though. But I'm here to talk match week 26 of this season's Premier League. And it was an epic match week, 12 match weeks to go. And I'll be going live for every single one of them. So we won't delay. Let's get into the next game. Let's definitely get into the next one. We have a lot to talk about because I know you guys are anticipating the game between City and Tottenham. I'll get to it, guys. Hold up. Have some patience. Let's talk West Ham 1, Newcastle United 1. And I must say, this is another great result for Newcastle United as they came off of 3 consecutive Premier League wins. So this is now 4 games in a row. Actually 5 without a loss for Newcastle. This is absolutely brilliant. 1-1 against West Ham, 1-0 versus Aston Villa, a 3-1 win over Everton, a 1-0 over Leeds United, and the 1-1 draw against Watford. They did lose the FA Cup third round to Cambridge United. They drew to Man United. So that's 6 games in the Premier League without a loss for... That's 6, right? 6. Ridiculous. 6 games. 6 games without a loss for Newcastle as they now have their head above water. You know that muddied relegation water? They're now... Oh, God. Oh, man. We're 4 points ahead now of the team in 18th. God damn, that feels good. How are they going to do it? How are they doing it? Eddie Howe, of course, and the money that they spent during the January transfer window. A lot of people say, look, money is not all of it. Yeah, money does a lot for you guys. Money does a lot for you. They say more money, more problems, but there's also a situation where if you spend the money right, you could be more money, no problems. You see what I'm saying? Or the fewer problems. So, look, let's just take a look at the lineups in this game. For West Ham, they made 3 changes. Kurt Zouma back in the team. Yeah, the man who kicked the cat all over the room. Ryan Fredericks in for Kufal, who's dealing with a hernia problem. And Said Benrahma came back into the team. For Newcastle, 3 changes. Kieran Trippier actually broke his foot, which is not good news. Javier Manquillo had some problems as well. And Alon St-Maximin missed the game. Matt Target in, Emil Kraft, who did well in the match, and Jacob Murphy in the 11. Federico Fernandez back in the squad, fit again. He made the bench. In this game, there was a few early look-ins for Newcastle. They started the game very, very well. And as we know, West Ham, they're a quality team under David Moyes, right? His second stint, they've done really well. But for some reason, they've lost a bit of steam. I don't know if, they're getting figured out a bit, or if it's just the position in the league is just weighing on them. The pressure is telling. But their performances has been very inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? Mikel Antonio's goals have dried up a bit. It's only Jared Bowen really firing up top for them. They've been dealing with quite a few injuries, sporadic injuries to various players. And, Declan Rice have been making a few mistakes where that's not, characteristic of him. They struggled in the game against Kidderminster Harriers. So, this result is a very fair result where Newcastle wasn't at full pelt either, but they still managed to pick up a road draw here, which is a quality result. So Look, Bowen did hit the frame in the 20th minute. Good move. Jared Bowen, the best player at West Ham United right now, if you ask me. Knocking on the door for the England national team. And then the goal came in the 32nd minute here. Emil Kraft foul on Antonio. The free kick taken by one of the most underrated Premier League players of all time, and that's Aaron Cresswell. And his delivery on a platter to one of the best attacking defenders in the league right now, Craig Dawson. 51st goal of his career, heading into the back of the net past Dubravka for the lead. That goal was against the run of play because West Ham weren't playing, at their best. And it was Newcastle really knocking on the door to pick up a goal, but the foul was a costly one and West Ham scored, you know what I mean? Bubbles in the air, bubbles all over the London Stadium there as, the Hammers in the lead. The goal, the equalizer did come in first half extra time. There was a scrappy goal that needed goal line technology. Ball came into the box. Declan Rice failed to deal with it. And his awkward header basically set up Joe Willock, who poked out a leg and snuck it into the back of the net past Fabianski. And what seemed like a fairly rather innocuous cross in the box, and seemingly harmless ball ended up in the back of the net for the equalizer. So look, it ended 1-1. Not much to really talk about in the second half, where both teams just scrap it out. You see numerous yellow cards there in the second half, but it was a fair result. Not the most entertaining game. It wasn't a Tottenham City. See what I'm saying? It wasn't a Liverpool Norwich where Liverpool had to come from behind. It wasn't one of those classic Premier League games, but it was a necessary game for Newcastle to keep picking up those points as they look to survive as the richest club in world football. It would be embarrassing if they actually get relegated with all that money, right? And that takeover. It would indeed be a travesty if they are to get relegated. But they're looking good. They're one of the most informed teams in the league, if you ask me, behind, a Liverpool. Who else? They're actually right behind Liverpool, where every other team. And Man United, to when you really think about it, Man United, Liverpool, and Newcastle haven't lost in their last 5 games, which is, ridiculous if you ask me, man. So you got to give it to the Geordies here. And good result in the absence of key players, and they continue to build on that momentum. For West Ham, they have lost some steam lately in their push for top 4. A string of inconsistent results, but good point nevertheless for the Hammers. So king of the match, Joe Willock, who's had a quiet season since his cameo at the back in the last season there on loan from Arsenal, made permanent, but he hasn't been able to produce that magic as a Newcastle player and not an Arsenal player on loan at Newcastle United. So that's all for that. We're not going to get too deeper into this game. We're going to continue knocking out these matches and, before we get to the big ones. And in terms of these teams, for West Ham United, who are 5th right now in the league with 42 points, they're 4 points behind Manchester United. They're dropping off a bit with 2 draws and 2 losses in their last 5 games. Their next game is against Wolves, and this is a very tough game coming up against a gritty Wolverhampton Wanderers team. But luckily for them, Wolves do have a midweek fixture against Arsenal, so they could catch Wolves a bit tired and, pounce on that. Then they do have Southampton in the FA Cup, Liverpool on March 5th, where they look to do the double. Come on, West Ham, help us out. Can't believe I'm asking for help, right? But they do have Aston Villa, Battle of the Clareton Blues, and Tottenham in a London derby there before they meet Everton and Brentford. So for Newcastle United, what is in store for them in the near future? They got to improve their goal difference, which is a minus 19. This is a good game for them. They have a very good fixture coming up. Brentford. Then they do have Brighton. And then Southampton, a team they could get something against. You know what I mean? Before a tougher fixture against Chelsea. But then there's Everton, Crystal. Yeah, Newcastle's going to be fine. They're going to be fine, I think. But those are the games where they have to pick up results. They got to use that period here where they're in very good form to get into the 30s in terms of points. They have to get those 8 points, get to 30 points, and then, they scrap it out at the end to maybe barely survive the drop. Or who knows? Maybe doing it comfortably. So that's it for that game. 1-1. 1-1. Newcastle, West Ham United. What are you guys saying in the chat right about now? We got 142 people up in here, man. God damn. Adam, West Ham are falling hard, especially after the Zuma situation. Yeah, I think it's multiple things. You know what I'm saying? Lukaku is a double-decker bus, slow as hell. Lukaku is quick, though. Lukaku is quick. Big up to Karumi in the house. What is really happening to Chelsea and Lukaku? Only 7 touches in the whole game against Crystal Palace. Yeah, I know. Need to get him involved a bit more. Big up to Claude Murphy in the house. How you doing? Big up to everybody in the house. Big up to you, man. Chuwaia, however you say your name, bro. You know what I mean? Nice to see you in here, guys. Smash up the thumbs up button. We got 100 likes already. MVP Kev in the house. Big up to Chelsea Perspective. Same old strategy by Conte. And same result, a win. Yeah, man. The blueprint to beat City is all over the internet. It's no secret. Teams just fail to implement it, sometimes, but whenever you see City lose, look, it's the same way. It is the same exact way. Big up to King Huddle, Angel Abel in the house as well, CJ Scott, Brett Parnell, everybody, Hot Chili, everybody in here, man. Everybody, nice to see y'all in here. We're going to keep it moving. We got a few more games to touch on before we get to the spicier ones, okay? We're going to keep it moving. Brighton and Hove Albion, 0. Back-to-back losses for the Seagulls. Burnley, 3. This result was a shocking result because while the other games were going on and at halftime they were all 0-0, Burnley were 2-0 up against Brighton, and I was like, God damn, I'll be damned. And I think I actually predicted a draw for this game, I might have predicted a win for Brighton, Let me get to that prediction and see what I did for that. 1-1 draw. 1-1 draw I predicted because I actually mentioned the fact that Brighton's defense would be suspect in this game with the absence of Lewis Dunk and Dan Burn sold to Newcastle, of course. So it was a defense made up of Shane Duffy and Joel Veltman, and these two players haven't really played together as a centre-back pairing all season. So I think that is where they lost the trick there. So let's just get to the lineups of this game really quick here. Let's start with Burnley, where Sean Dyche manages 250th game for Burnley. And actually, with that win, I think he picked up his 150th win as a Burnley manager as well, which is quite impressive. I didn't even know his record was that impressive. But, of course, look, they've survived in the league for some time. So, brilliant result, if you ask me, man. 3-0. This is a atypical result for Burnley. We know they always pick up a scrappy 1-0 win or 2-1 win, but not 3-0, man. Clean sheets. They've been picking up some clean sheets lately, and that's testament to their quality goalkeeper, Nick Pope, leader in the back there, Ben Mee, and addition to their squad there, Connor Roberts and Nathan Collins, right? So, look, these guys are Brits, and, well, no, not Ireland is, Nathan Collins is Irish, but you get the point. They're all from within the region, and that's typical of a Burnley team. And these players fit the mold of Burnley players. Young players. This is not the typical Burnley defense. You might see a Charlie Taylor in there. You might see a Tarkowski. But these guys stepped in and did the damn business, though. You got to give it to them, though. You definitely got to give it to them. So for Brighton and Hove Albion, Duncan Webster out. Webster was another big miss. Duffy and Veltman in, and that was a problem in my opinion. Lallana in for Pascal Gross, and along with Trossard, who didn't make the 11 as well. Mentioning Lallana, he had a brilliant chance. If he had scored that, that would have been a spectacular effort. So the first goal came in the 21st minute, and then new man Wout Weghorst, the Dutchman coming over from Wolfsburg, finally scored after hitting the ground running in the Premier League. Look, it was a run down the right flank by the aforementioned Connor Roberts, square to the Dutchman, first time shot into the back of the net, 1-0 to Burnley. There was a chance there for Lallana, the chance I was talking about, a flying header after Tariq Lamptey cross into the box. That went wide, but that should have been put into the back of the net. The second goal for Burnley came in the 48th minute. Josh Brownhill has finally scored a goal for Burnley. I'm pretty sure that is his first goal this season. And that might be, he might have another goal for Burnley. He might just have another goal for Burnley. I need to do a quick check here because I know he hasn't really scored enough. He's 26 now. He's not a spring chicken anymore. But he hasn't really contributed enough in terms of goals, though. That's only his second goal in 68 games, and he has 1 assist to go with that. So hasn't contributed enough going forward, and that is a step in the right direction there for Josh Brownhill. You know what I mean? So it was Wout Weghorst with the assist there. It was a long ball. And this is sometimes you look at other teams and you wonder why they don't implement a long ball strategy when passing it on the ground doesn't seem to work, when you can't really break down a defense. A long ball always does the trick, right? That bounce going over the back line and the control, the hold-up play by Weghorst to lay it off to Brownhill, whose left-footed shot was deflected into the back of the net. 2-0 to Burnley. And at that point, a Sean Dyche team doesn't really give up a lead, you know what I mean? 2-0 at halftime, and with Brighton coming off of a loss in their previous game against Manchester United where they were beaten, comprehensively. They struggled again. They really struggled again to really get anything going forward. And this was another highlight package where it was very one-sided. It was all Burnley. The third goal came in the 69th minute. Aaron Lennon, the veteran. That was a banger. That was indeed a banger. J. Rodriguez to Lennon, who fabulously scored the third goal there for the struggling Clarets, who surely needed this lift. 3-0. First away win for Burnley this season, as that's only their second win this season altogether, which is unthinkable when you really, factor that Burnley has been a quality team for years. And they're struggling, but they have something going for them right now. There's been 26 match days, right? For most of the teams, 25 for a lot of them. But there's something called game in hand. And they have that. They have that going for them, game in hand. But there was a concern that they won't capitalize on the games in hand, but they have been picking up points. In their last 5 matches, and let me see if it actually stretched back further to that one, to 5. Well, 0-0 against Arsenal, 0-0 against Watford. That's 2 clean sheets. The 1-1 against United, another big result. 1-0 loss to Liverpool, narrowly lost, and the 3-0 win against Burnley. So they're moving in the right direction. Still in the relegation zone, however, but they must build on this win with their games in hand. 3 games in hand. They must capitalize on this. They do play Tottenham next, and maybe Tottenham have exhausted all of their powers against City, and they could catch Tottenham lacking, but it's left to be seen. That's a very difficult game to predict as well. This 2 losses on the bounce is a minor setback for Brighton and Hove Albion, if you ask me, who has been playing well. Definitely. That's one win in all competitions in quite a few matches. Let me let you know exactly how many games. They're ninth right now, but they only have one win in their last few games. Well, they defeated Watford, they lost to Burnley, lost to United, lost to Tottenham in the FA Cup, drew with Leicester, drew with Chelsea, drew with Palace, and they did beat West Ham in the West Brom in the FA Cup. So in their last 7 games, they got one win in all competitions, and that's not good enough at all. That's not good enough. But as I said, it's a minor setback. I think they have overachieved already this season, and they're ninth, 7 points off safety, one win in their last, 7 in all competitions. They got to pull things back together. You know what I'm saying? And they just need a rethink, get players back available again, and they're good to go. So for Graham Potter and his boys, you don't want to be overly critical of Brighton right now. They're in the top 10, and that's not something we expected. They play a very vulnerable Aston Villa team next, and they do have Newcastle and Liverpool coming up. So 2 games where they could pick up results, and then another one where they might just flunk out. They do have Tottenham, man. They have three difficult games on the bounce with Liverpool, Tottenham, and Manchester City early to mid March. So good luck to them. I think they've done enough to survive, and they'll just look to build on the solid season they had so far. For Burnley, they're 19th right now with 17 points. That's 5 points off the drop. They're chasing Newcastle, Everton, Watford only a point ahead of them, and Leeds, Brentford. Look, Burnley could still survive. It's not all doom and gloom for them, but Sean Dyche should need to pick up some points in these games in hand. Tottenham next at home. Then they do have an away game against Crystal Palace, Leicester, misfiring Leicester, and Chelsea, who I think they picked up a point against already this season. So if for these 4 games, they could let's say they get about 5 points, that won't be bad at all. That won't be bad. You see what I'm saying? But who's the winner? Who the win is gonna come against? Maybe Crystal Palace. Who knows? Maybe Leicester. You never know with this Burnley team. Let's just keep an eye on the Clarets to see how they do for the remainder of the season there. So look, not a great game for Robert Sanchez in goal, I gotta say, but for the Dutchman, Wout Weghorst, definitely a confidence boosting goal and assist for him. So big up to each and everybody in the house right about now. Let me get to some of these super chats. I see you guys dropping. Thanks for the support, guys. We have the boy Obi. Thanks, Obi. He says, we have been waiting for this day. I warned you, but you trust me. Pep is seriously under pressure to win the Champions League, and I don't see it happening. So he's under pressure to win the Premier League. He's under pressure to win the Champions League. And I'm pretty sure you don't see both of them happening, right? Let's see, man. Let's see. Online school, City won't win the UCL. Yeah, online school is a big Man City hater. I know that. City could be beaten once you are disciplined in defense. Absolutely correct. Adam, Obi Okeke, I think I read somewhere that Pep will stay until the 2022-23 season is over. Pep might actually stay longer than that. Let's see. Let us see how long he stay on. We got Obi again, journalist. Who do you think can stop City from winning the Champions League? Pep Guardiola. Liverpool, they are my nightmare. They are a pain in the ass. Well, I didn't see that one, but, Liverpool are definitely a very quality team. We know that. But they haven't beaten us for a while. So let's keep that in mind. The game, Liverpool-Manchester City, coming up in April. Oh, my God. Whoa. Let's say these teams stay like neck to neck. going into that game, oh my God, that would be one spectacle. That would be a huge match, man, that we all will be looking forward to. So, look, what a time to be a City fan, right? We lost one game. One game. Since when? October? And everybody's losing their shit. You see what I'm saying? Come on, guys, calm down. This is what's supposed to happen in the first place. The league was not supposed to be so one-sided. This is how it was supposed to be all along, where Liverpool was supposed to be competing with City, maybe Chelsea and United in the hunt as well. This is what we want, okay? And I'll get to that. I'll get to that pretty soon. I will. So, big up to Botak Ching coming out of Singapore. Says, Dom, how you feeling? Title is on, not yet over. We still believe in my team, Liverpool, from Singapore. Big up to you. I do appreciate it, man. And we do have a super chat here. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe that my boy Dupe has dropped a super chat. Oh, my God. Whoa, Dupe has finally grown up. Bro, you just turned what, 18 or something, bro? You got that debit card? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Big up to my boy Dupe, man. Has been one of the real ones for some time, supporting the channels, man. All my channels, man. Nice. Man City fan in here. Who says, big up to them as always. The defense was awful against Spurs. My boy Dupe. Oh, my God. Oh, man. I want to say something else, but I can't say it. But, oh, my God. Keep doing your thing, bro. Nice to see you around here. Shout outs to Thriller from Manila. I haven't seen him in a while. So if anybody know anything what's going on with Thriller, man, shout out to Thriller. He's been MIA for 2022, but I've seen him in, here and there, and he's been absent for some time though. But Thriller, where you at, man? Where you at? Thriller. Anyways, man, let's get back to the show. Let's definitely get back to the show. We got a lot to go through. And let's not delay it any longer. We are almost an hour in, and we've done pretty good. I think we've done well. So we've talked about West Ham, Newcastle. We touched on Aston Villa, Watford, Brighton, Burnley. We talked Southampton, Everton, and we got to keep it moving. Let's talk Wolves versus Leicester, where Wolverhampton Wanderers defeated Leicester 2-1. So the next few games we're going to run through, and we have to talk Wolves, Leicester. We'll talk Arsenal, Brentford. We got Crystal Palace, Chelsea, and we have another one. We have Leeds, Manchester United as well. We will get through these games within the next 30 minutes or so. And then we'll spend some time on talking about Liverpool and Manchester City. So, guys, have some patience. We'll get it done. And you guys waited a while for this, and I'm gonna give you something good. You see what I'm saying? I didn't want to give you anything tired. That is why yesterday I said, man, listen, man, I'm mad tired. I'm gonna just go to sleep. I got work in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So today was a holiday. Got that time and a half money. Did a few errands later on in the day. And now I'm back. And we're here to talk match week 26. Wolves versus Leicester City here. 2-1. Leicester's indifferent form this season continues, while Wolves on the surge under Bruno Lage and in charge. He's hit the Premier League, the Premier League ground running as a fresh manager in the league, so you got to give it to him, man. So take a look at the lineups really quick here. Hwang Hee-chan and Pedro Neto back on the bench. The usual in the back there, Max Kilman, breakout player this season. Connor Cody, ever reliable, and Roma Saiz, the big man from Morocco. Jose Sa, one of the best signings this season in goal. Definitely saved Wolves in this game and kept them, in the driver's seat. Ryan Ait-Nouri has a very, very bright future. Ruben Neves, I could see him being a Man City player in the future, so let's not stall on the Ruben Neves deal. Replacement for Fernandinho, that could happen. That could be a thing. The Wiley Fox, Jean Moutinho, along with Raul Jimenez, Daniel Podence scoring there. Well-needed goal for him. So, for Leicester, notable absentee in the 11. James Maddison not fully fit. The likes of Jamie Vardy, Johnny Evans continue to be out of the team. And the team has been all over the place, man. You know, a lot of injuries, you know, selection issues. You know what I mean? The defense has been very, very poor with Amate and Soyuncu at the back there this time. Kasper Schmeichel has been very vocal and involved, but he can't do it by himself. Yuri Telemans want to leave the club. He's been performing, you know, so-so. Good performance here, bad performance there. Ndidi, who knows, man. The squad needs a refresh. But Keenan Dewsbury Hall does provide a fresh breath of air, along with the likes of Patson Daka and Ademola Lookman. So, look, man. Chance in the 4th minute for the boy Lookman. Teed up, he actually teed up Tillemans, who put the chance wide. And look for him on the move this summer as well, before Belgium goes to the World Cup. The goal came in the 9th minute. 9th minute goal here by Ruben Neves from outside the box. Teed up by Raul Jimenez, and you know, almost all of his goals come from outside the box or from the penalty spot. So very good goal by the Portuguese international to give Wolves the lead after a bright start. So Leicester with a chance. 15th minute, Jose Sa, save from Tillemans. Shot rebounded and it evaded 2 Leicester City players. So Wolves did get lucky on that occasion. End-to-end football within the first half hour of the game, with Leicester chasing the game for the most part. 41st minute, the equalizer came. Good move by Tillemans to Al Brighton. That was a wicked pass, man, to cut apart the Wolves defense. And we know Wolves defense has been one of the best this season. They've been so good that if you actually go and you check the Premier League table right now, Wolves are actually right there with Chelsea in terms of the defense, with City leading the best defense in the league. Wolves and Chelsea are in second. Well, Wolves actually in second with 1 less game played. So that's how well their defense have been this season. And to cut it apart like that shows how good Tillemans could be. And the square by Albrighton and the tap-in by Ademola Lookman to give Leicester a 1-1 scoreline there. So, look, before I do forget, big up to Obi for dropping the super chat once again, who says, Dominic, do you notice Liverpool fans are out in their numbers to celebrate City's loss? Your loss is always good for your channel. Yeah, you're right about that. You're definitely right. Liverpool wins, City losses, very good for the channel, not good for me. You see what I'm saying? But very good for the channel. Because people just love to see us lose. And the Liverpool fans just want to keep winning. But when City win, yeah, people, I don't care. I don't really want to hear what Dom has to say. You see what I mean? But I just wanted to, address that super chat. Big up to everybody in here, guys. Let's see if we could get the stream up to 150 thumbs up. This will be a massive one. If you're watching the replay right now, thank you very much for tuning in to the live stream. Replay, if you missed, the live stream. If you missed me live, hey man, how are you doing? Let me take some time to say hi to the people watching the replay. Hi, how are you feeling, man? Thanks for tuning in. You could have been doing anything else in the world right now, or maybe you're doing something else, but you're choosing to watch this as well. So thanks, man. Thanks. Love you. Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day, belatedly. Okay. Let's talk. Let's continue here. Let's continue. So, 1-1 at halftime, and good response by Leicester after going behind. They had a strong finish to the half, and that goal definitely came on merit. So, all right, Adam, man, peace out, bro. We'll talk soon. Nice coming through, and you could watch the rest of the stream in the replay. Look, the winning goal did come in the 66th minute. Daniel Podence rifled one from distance to beat goalkeeper Schmeichel. VAR had to take a look of whether Raul Jimenez was blocking a vision of Schmeichel, who was protesting. But there was also a Leicester City player in his line of vision. So I don't know what he was crying about. But that was indeed the telling blow for Leicester as they failed to respond to that goal. So the goal did come after a very dominant period by Leicester, so it was somewhat against the run of play. And we did get to see Pedro Neto come into the game along with Hwang Hee-chan. So Pedro Neto finally back. And you could remember he was on Liverpool's radar. I don't know if the Reds are still interested in a player like Pedro Neto, but he would be a good addition to any team. Let's see how he does after coming back from fracturing his knee. So Tielemans did get a shot saved in the 94th minute by Jose Sa, as Leicester, did get a flurry of chances at the back end of the game there. So 2-1 win for Wolverhampton Wanderers. And Leicester actually looked the better team throughout the game, but Wolves with the more moments of quality. And, of course, the more quality team on the day always, get the spoils. Defensively, the teams on opposite ends of the spectrum, where Leicester has a record where they have conceded the most goals, I think, in English football across all competitions. And it has just been a weird season for them. They're missing Johnny Evans. Soyuncu has not been the same. And other players who have stepped in there, they haven't really been doing a great job. So Vestergaard, not turning out to be the best signing, but maybe you need to give him time. Leicester City needs a refresh, a revamp of their squad indeed. So 2-1 win for Wolverhampton Wanderers as they look to get top 4. Right now, we got to actually look at Wolves as a top 4 contender. 24 games played, 40 points. Wolves are officially safe for next season in the Premier League. And they're only 6 points behind United with 2 games in hand for the top 4 spot. So Wolves are in the running. For the top 4 spot, man. Give it up to Bruno Largen in charge. They started the season with 3 losses. Could remember that. And they only have 8 now. So brilliant, man. Brilliant. Brilliant by Wolverhampton Wanderers as they rack up them points in the league. So for them, they don't score enough goals, but lately they have been getting a lot better at that. They do have Arsenal coming up with a rearranged midweek fixture. And they recently played Arsenal where they narrowly lost a goal to nil. I'll talk about that a little later on in the stream where I plan to do a mini preview of the midweek fixtures. So guys, make sure you stick around for as long as you could, because today's stream will be an epic one. We'll talk a bit of Champions League as well. I did get an hour and a half nap. So in terms of sleep today, I'm pretty much good. Maybe for to get maybe 3 hours before I go to sleep, before I go to work. So it's fine. It's fine. I operate on very, very little sleep these days because, there's money out there to be made, bills to pay, and you're not going to achieve that sleeping. My YouTube channel makes money while I sleep, but it's not a substantial amount. If you get what I'm saying. So they do have Arsenal, West Ham, Crystal Palace, and Watford coming up. And they will have no fear in their hearts, their canine hearts, coming up against these teams. So for Wolves are canines, right? I don't know if I'm technically correct with that, but you get the point. So for Leicester City, who are now in 11th, Wolves are in 7th. Looking to get Champions League football, and Leicester are 11th, only on 27 points with no wins in their last 5 matches, which is absolutely terrible if you ask me, right? And that's in the Premier League. 2-1 loss to Wolves, 2-2 draw against West Ham, 2-0 loss against Liverpool, 1-1 draw to Brighton, the 3-2 loss to Tottenham, And you have to go back to the 1-0 win against Liverpool on December 28th for their last Premier League win. And before that, they did lose 6-3 to Manchester City in the league. So it's been a poor period for Brendan Rodgers, where in terms of the next manager most likely to be sacked, it's him. I don't think he will be sacked. He has the trust of the board after delivering the FA Cup and the Community Shield for the team to go with the Premier League that they won under Ranieri, quite a few seasons ago now. You gotta be content with that as a Leicester board, because they've basically overachieved, if you ask me, seeing that the competition that they have in the Premier League. You see what I'm saying? For trophies. So for them, they do have some kind of fixtures coming up. That midweek fixture against that's not a midweek fixture. They do have Randers coming up next in the FA not the FA Cup, the Europa League, the Europa Conference League, where they won the first leg 4-1. Then they have Burnley for the next Premier League game on March 1st. So they do have about 10 days or so, maybe not 10, because February has a few days left. But they do have a week, let's say a week before their next game that's coming up on Tuesday, the 1st of March, which is actually my anniversary, though. You know what I'm saying? So my wife actually had to remind me that the anniversary is coming up. I didn't even remember, to be honest. You know what I mean? We men, like, God damn, anniversary already? It's been 4 years since I've been married to you. God damn, man. But yeah, I have a good wife. So far, she's been good. So far, you know what I mean? She got a good husband too. But anyways, these are the next fixtures for these two teams, man. How's everybody feeling in the house right about now, man? Look, we got Demo. How Dom works so hard, man. Yeah, indeed, I do, man. Big up to Ryan in the house. Ryan, what are you up to, bro? What are you up to? Are you home? Are you home right now, or are you at work right now? No, you actually home. You work the morning shift these days, you know what I'm saying? Boy, Ryan LFC. We gotta have a chat soon. Ryan. Talk about this Premier League title race thing, right? You wanna have a chat with me? You ready? Are you ready? I know you have strength for me now, but when you were about 15 points behind, nobody wanted to talk to me, but everybody want to talk to me now. Everybody want to talk to me now, you know what I mean? You know what? I don't want to talk to none of y'all. I'm going to do this myself. I don't want to talk to none of y'all, man. I wasn't seeing anybody when City was actually 16 points ahead. So we're going to move into the next game. And that game is Arsenal 2, Brentford 1. Arsenal getting their revenge after that match they won loss against the newly promoted Brentford FC. And this is a good win for Arsenal. Arsenal have been in very good form, I gotta say, man. Gotta give it to the Gunners, man. You know what I mean? They went through a bit of a banter period, but I have to say they have pulled things back remarkably, man. So 2-1 to the Gunners in this London derby. And in terms of the 11s here, let's take a look at the 11s. Takahiro Tomiyasu back on the bench, and Emil Smith-Rowe back in the team. So you could see Cedric Suarez filling in for Takahiro Tomiyasu there. But the center-back partnership of Ben White and Gabriel Magalhaes continues to blossom with Kieran Tierney. You know how solid he is at left-back. Once he's fit, you're going to get 150% from him. The midfield is back again with Partey and Granit Xhaka back from suspension, and they managed not to get anybody sent off in this game. But the players that's really making things stick for Arsenal are the young guns of Martin Odegaard, Emil Smith-Rowe, and Bukayo Saka, with the boy Alexandre Lacazette up top. It's going to be interesting to see whether Lacazette actually stays on for another season at Arsenal. So I think his contract is actually running down. He's 30 years old these days, and his contract expires at the end of the season. So let's see if Lacazette would actually be an Arsenal player come next season. So far, I don't think he will be, but you never know though. You never know. They got to get that contract renewed pretty soon. So for Brentford, they're missing Ivan Toney once again. Josh De Silva started the game in the absence of Vitaly Janelt, who I think was actually on the bench. Did come on in the 44th minute there for Matthias Jensen. So that's a setback for them there as well. So look, Brentford has lost steam, even though David Raya back in the team, and they have their preferred centre-back pairings in Christopher Aya, Ethan Pinnock, and Pontus Janssen, with the likes of, Rico Henry and Sergi Canos running down the flanks. So the team that they do have the team that they want to have on the field, with the exception of Ivan Toney being out with some injury problems these days. And Brentford are struggling. Brentford are getting drawn into that relegation scrap. So, look, not much to really talk about in terms of the first half of this game, but it was a good start by Arsenal. And it was a very good first half without actually scoring any goals there. So, Brentford, not much to talk about in terms of their first half, but they were they were doing more defending than anything in the early stages of the game. The first goal came early in the second half, where Arteta probably or most likely told his Arsenal players, you guys have been way too dominant to not have a goal so far in the game. And it was Smith Rowe. It was a good run and a great finish by Emil Smith Rowe, and it was a deserved goal for Arsenal. I actually think that Smith Rowe has been one of Arsenal's best players this season. I think he probably has the most Premier League goals as well, where that goal is actually his 9th goal this season. What a season, though. What a season that Smith Rowe is having. Lacazette with his 5th assist, laying that ball off, and great individual work by Emil Smith Rowe, who was, garnered some interest from some other clubs before he renewed his contract at Arsenal. I have to say that, he is indeed the future of Arsenal, and he will be there for years to come. Contract expires in 2026, so expect him and the player that I'm going to talk about next, Bukayo Saka, to be there for a long time if they could, keep the interest of, the likes of Liverpool and City, or even a Man United and a Chelsea and bigger clubs outside of England, off their their backs there. So look, the goal. Did I go back? Did I press the back button on the wrong tab? I think I did. I actually think I did. Pardon me there. Think I did there. Sorry about that mistake. Go back to that. I was actually meant to click the back button on another tab, but I clicked the wrong back button there. So, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. 79th minute, Saka with the goal this time. That was a counter-attacking goal, teed up by Thomas Partey, and a very smart finish by the other young gunner, Bukayo Saka. And for Saka, that's his 7th goal of the season, which is absolutely brilliant if you ask me. So Saka and Smith Rowe are actually carrying Arsenal on their young backs. Saka is actually 20 years old. 20! And I think Smith Rowe is about 21, if I'm not mistaken. So Saka's contract expires on 2024. They will look to actually renew his contract and stretch that to maybe 2026. Smith Rowe is 21. So 20-year-old and a 21-year-old actually carrying Arsenal on their backs. And there was a consolation goal for Brentford at the end. Scrappy goal, nevertheless. 93rd minute by Christian Norgard, who put in after the shot got deflected. VAR had to review for possible offside, and the goal stood. So that would just be a confidence booster for the player himself. But for the team, they would actually be suffering from yet another loss this season. And Arsenal with the win. So just refer to my notes here. Brentford must be very, very cautious right about now, because if we check the Premier League table, let's go to the Premier League table briefly, right? Let's go to the Premier League table and let's go down to Brentford. They're 14th, but they do have 24 points right about now, right? 24 points after 26 games. They still need 16 points to survive the drop. You know what I mean? There and about. They gotta be very cautious in their approach. They could get dragged into the relegation scrap along with Leeds, Everton, Newcastle, Watford, Norwich, and Burnley, right? They got to be very, very careful. They haven't been in good form lately. And for Brentford, 2-1 loss to Arsenal, a 0-0 draw against Crystal Palace, the 2-0 loss to City, the 2-1 loss to Wolves, the 3-1 loss to United, the 3-0 loss to Liverpool, the 4-1 loss to Southampton, and they haven't won a Premier League game since the dawn of the new year when they picked up a 2-1 win against Aston Villa on January 2nd, right? So after that game, they have lost how many Premier League games? 4 in a row. That was actually 5 in a row. The draw against Crystal Palace stopped the bleeding, and then they have now lost 6 of their last 7 Premier League games, with only 1 win in 8th. In 8, not 8th. 1 win in 8, which is terrible form, man. 8-3 is what? 24. So they have only picked up 4 out of a possible 24 points, which is ridiculous. Ridiculous for Brentford. They have 24 points, and in the last 24 points, the last 24 available, they only got 4. So it ain't good. It ain't good. It ain't good. A team that we thought would have comfortably survived, it seems like things are falling apart for Thomas Frank and the Bees here. So for Arsenal, big 3 points as they look to build on good performances so far after losing back-to-back games in early December. All right, so since early December, Arsenal have definitely been on the up, and those losses came against they did lose to Everton and Manchester United. But since then, they beat Southampton, beat West Ham, beat Leeds, beat Sunderland in the EFL Cup. Well, that's insignificant right now because, of course, they lost to Liverpool in the semi-final. But they did beat Norwich 5-0, lost to City on New Year's Day. But since then, in the league, 0-0 against Burnley, the 1-0 win against Leeds, and now the 2-1 win against Brentford. So quality performances by the Gunners, if you ask me. The next game is against Wolves. Then they play a London derby against Watford. They do have Leicester and Liverpool coming up for the next 4 matches, where they're currently in 6th, hunting down a top 4 spot with 3 games in hand to Manchester United. So the top 4 race is definitely heating up between, you got to put Chelsea in there. Chelsea, United, West Ham, Arsenal, Wolves, and Tottenham. Liverpool and Manchester City are title contenders right now. So, look, in terms of the next game for Brentford, how are things going to get for them? They have some good fixtures coming up. 6-pointers against Newcastle, Norwich, and Burnley. And they have a misfiring Leicester City team to play. So the next 4 games, they have to pull things back. Or else, I think, they struggle at the back end of the season there. So they have some good games coming up at the back end, though. But still, you never know. You never know. So that's my thoughts on that one, guys. Let me know yours. Do appreciate each and every person in the chat right about now. So some quick shout outs. Ayub Khan, how are you doing? MVP Kevin Millsmith, Rose Arsenal's best player this season indeed. JLFC Imperial, aka Royal. What happens to the 16 points, Dom? I know, right? I know. It has disappeared. It has just disappeared. It has been disappointed. Disappointed by City. I'm disappointed because we allow that kind of lead to slip. You know what I mean? We still do have a 13-point lead over Chelsea. Oh, man. I could talk about that one. But you know what Chelsea got over us? A damn Champions League and a Club World Cup trophy. And they're in the final of the EFL Cup. So, Who knows what might happen to us this season? Who knows, man? Who knows? Who else we got? Pachar in the house. Dom, does this mean that Tottenham are better than Manchester City? Logically, yeah. Maybe we call it fool's logic. Fool's logic. Tottenham keep beating City. That means they're better than City, right? Yeah. They do have our number, man. They do have our number. Chelsea still have postponed games to play, bro. Chelsea have 26 games. What are you talking about? 25. They only have a game in hand, bro. What are you talking about? Chelsea are still technically 10 points behind Manchester City. Okay? So big up to Yusuf, who's saying greetings from Cape Town, South Africa. How are you doing, man? How are you doing? You know, nice to be back. It's been a while since I did a live stream. Since last week. But I was supposed to do this on Saturday night. You know what I mean? Somebody say, hey, Dom, how are you finding time to drop these World Cup qualifying videos and you're not talking about the City Tottenham game? Are you avoiding this game? I'm like, no, I'm busy. These World Cup videos are clips that I did since Monday and they're scheduled releases. There's one coming up in the morning, the CONCACAF version coming up in the morning, and after I put out the full Confederation versions, then I'll put out some more clips of some more, maybe 5-minute, 7-minute clips again. So look for the World Cup qualifying clips, man. It's all about clips. Anyways, let's continue this thing, and we got a lot of games to talk about, and let's go back to the results. Live stream is still young, guys. It is still young, okay? We got a lot more to talk about. Let's talk Crystal Palace 0, Chelsea 1. Let's get into this game. And Patrick Vieira must be a pissed off, very, very pissed off manager, as, he feels they should have actually got something from this game. So, Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 0. Let's take a look at the lineups really quick, and you could see Nathaniel Klein in, Kouyaté and Olise, as well as James MacArthur came into the team. Vicente Guaita had to be substituted at the halftime break, and maybe if he was actually in the goal, who knows what would have happened. Maybe they would have got a point. You never know. For Chelsea, Malang Sarr and Edward Mendy officially back from the AFCON now. Yeah, he did play in the Club World Cup, but in terms of the Premier League, they started. Kennedy and Harvey Vale made the bench for the most notable inclusions in the squad. I got to give some props to Malang Sarr, though, because, Chelsea fans have this indifferent feeling about him, but he has definitely been playing some good football at the back there. Rudiger, how, important he is to proceedings. Thiago Silva and Andreas Christensen, made up that back line there. Very, very, I think they played, what was that? 3 at the back with Pulisic and maybe Sarr as the wing backs there. I think that's how they were set up. Jorginho, Kante and Pulisic there. Lukaku, I've been seeing him in the news about possible swap deal to Spurs and all. I don't know what's going on with the 100 million euro man. What's going on? Hakim Ziyech with the goal and Kai Havertz, coming off of winner in the Club World Cup final. So for this game, we had chance by Michael Olise, one of the brightest prospects over at Crystal Palace, who's eligible to play for Nigeria, Algeria, and England. So let's see where he, who he devotes his loyalty to. Rudiger with that brilliant shot after, that foray into the opposition final third there. And Guaita with the big save. If that had gone in, oh man, that would have been a spectacular goal. Malang Sarr with a brilliant pass to N'Golo Kante, and Kante's shot was hit straight at Guaita. Brilliant chance there for Chelsea as they peppered Crystal Palace in the early stages of the game. So in the end, we could say that the win was actually warranted, as Chelsea started the game brightly, but Crystal Palace did grow into the match as it went on. Chelsea, they were donning the Club World Champions, Club World World Cup, what you call it there? I can't find the words right now. I can't speak right now, but let's see if we find some pictures here. What I'm talking about there. Club World Cup, FIFA Club World Cup champion crest in the middle there. God damn. You know why I'm finding it very hard to see this? This should have been City with the crest on the chest. Jeez. Pep and oh man, I'm not jealous or anything. I'm just saying, man. Should have won the Champions League. We would have went on to win the freaking Club World Cup most likely. And I would have been able to go online and purchase a damn jersey with the crest in the middle and feel good. But I can't do that. See what I'm saying? I can't do that now. So congratulations to Chelsea once again on winning the FIFA Club World Cup, man. Whatever. So Zaha did get a chance in the 45th minute there, extra time period, where he missed from a tight angle, one of his few chances in the game. So 0-0 at halftime as Crystal Palace stayed in the match against a dominant Chelsea. Crystal Palace did have a better second half, where Zaha and Schlupp linked up early on in the second half with a chance, and they a chance or two in the first 15 minutes of the game there. So Chelsea a bit sloppy, and Palace not clinical enough throughout the first stages of the second half there, the early stages of the second half. So we also have to note that Butland came into the game at halftime after Guaita picked up an injury. And in the 74th minute, I think, is where things began to really take a turn for the better for Chelsea, where that triple change made by Thomas Tuchel. And we go down to you see that? The triple change right here. Alonso, who ultimately picked up the assist for the goal there. N'Golo Kante off, Kovacic on, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek for Jorginho. Just that freshness in the midfield there, and in the wing-back position there for Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea, that give them that impetus to get that goal. Lukaku in the 75th minute got his first shot off at goal, I think. And the save by Butland was deflected into the path of Ziyech, who was deemed to be offside by VAR, and celebrations was cut short with a goal disallowed. But Ziyech did get his goal in the 89th minute after a Marcos Alonso ball into the box. A very loopy cross. That should have been that goal could have been avoided, but Tyreek Mitchell did not have the presence of mind to know that Ziyech was actually behind him. Didn't put in a good enough effort to win that header, and Ziyech was just right there, gratefully at the back there to just slot it past Jack Butland. So look, Chelsea didn't play great in the game. I think Crystal Palace had a solid match. Zaha did get a chance late to equalize, but it was poor on Tyreek Mitchell to allow that ball to go over his head there, and Chelsea almost dropped points. It was not, pretty for Chelsea in their last, I think, 3 games in the Club World Cup. 2 in the Club World Cup and this game, but they managed to get the job done. They scraped and scrapped to these wins, and that's the most important thing if you ask me. And that's Chelsea's 9th consecutive Premier League win over Crystal Palace, which is absolutely ridiculous, man. So Thiago Silva given man of the match. You could see Edward Mendy, fresh off winning the African Cup of Nations. Oh my God! Jesus, this guy is actually racking up some trophies. You see what I'm saying? He's racking up some trophies, man. Came over from where? Rennes, right? Out of obscurity. I never heard about this guy before Chelsea was linked to him, right? Never heard about him. Played for Senegal before, but I wasn't aware, right? Came out of obscurity because of Kepa's, inability to hold down, to do well at Chelsea, I should say. And he came in, won the Champions League, won the Africa Cup of Nations, won the Club World Cup, won FIFA Goalkeeper of the Year, won the African Goalkeeper of the Tournament. Jesus, Edward. God damn. Man. I still don't think you're the best goalkeeper in the world. I'm going to just keep it right there and keep it moving. So, good win for Chelsea, though. Good win as they look to keep the likes of Man United and Wolves and Arsenal and West Ham and Tottenham off their backs. But I do think Chelsea are, within range of those teams, and they're scrapping for a top 4 spot for Champions League next season if they don't go on to win back-to-back Champions League titles, though. So, look, yet another poor game for Romelu Lukaku. Not involved enough. Chelsea, as I said, they started well. They had some good moments in the match. Crystal Palace did too. And Chelsea with that, moment of quality. Crystal Palace with the lapse. And it cost them 3 points at the end of the day. And for Palace in this, London derby, they haven't been lucky, and they have been so-so this season, but it's what we expect of Crystal Palace, who right now, they're still in 13th. That's their position. They do have 26 points. No wins in their last 5. They got to keep picking up. They got to pick up these points because they themselves could get dragged into a relegation scrap as well. You know what I mean? They're not safe. They are not safe. But I would like Patrick Vieira to do well. You see what I'm saying? I would definitely like for him to do well. You know what I mean? He's representing people like me in the Premier League as a manager. So just going to keep it real. And for them, the next game is against Watford in another London derby. Then they do have Burnley and Wolves. So Stoke City in the FA Cup 5th round. They have some games that they could pick up some wins in. They have City again. They beat City already this season. You know what I mean? Newcastle coming up. So they'll be looking forward to these games to get their season rolling again. As for the Blues, Chelsea, they do have Champions League football coming up this week. And that's actually tomorrow. Tomorrow, an hour from now, it will be today against Lille. So they do have Lille, where they did draw Lille twice in the first draw and then the redraw. So they were meant to play Lille. And then they do have the final of the Carabao Cup this Sunday against Liverpool. I'll be at work for that. I won't be able to watch that one live, but I will bring you a review later on in the day as I look to do the roundup of the Premier League fixtures as well this weekend. So it's gonna be like a double package: Carabao Cup final, match week 27 roundup. All right, so they do have Luton Town in the FA Cup. So the next 3 games, it's in the club competitions. They actually, interestingly, Chelsea's 5 games. There will be 5 games where they take part in 5 different competitions: the Club World Cup, the Premier League, the Champions League, the EFL Cup, and the FA Cup. But the next Premier League match will be against Burnley. Then they do face Newcastle United. Chelsea are currently 3rd, and they do have a game in hand, 4 points ahead of Manchester United. So that's my thoughts on that one. Big up to each and everybody in here. Thank you very much for your patience. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Big up to the boy Ankit in the house as well. Big up to King Huddle, Cuthbert, McVeigh, everybody who in the chat right now. We got 145 thumbs up, so if you're yet to smash up the thumbs up button, make sure you do so. Guys, we had 50 likes before the stream started. I couldn't believe it. People were really looking forward to this live stream, man. And I don't think I have disappointed so far. I think I've done a great job talking about the other fixtures. And we are hour and a half in, and we only have 3 games to go. We got Leeds, Manchester United, City, Tottenham, and we got Liverpool, Norwich. So let's move on to the next game, Leeds versus Manchester United, and then we won't spend too long on this one, guys. I promise you, 10 minutes the most, if that much. But we have to talk about this. A lot of yellow cards in this game. A lot of yellow cards. Roses derby, as they call it. Very, very scrappy match. Back and forth, topsy-turvy game. But a great game, nevertheless. I did enjoy watching this one. Even though Manchester United won the game and I wanted them to drop points, they still ended up winning the game. And you got to give Ralph Rangnick some credit for the substitutions of Fred and Anthony Elanga. Got to mention that before it slipped through the cracks. So, Leeds 2, United 4. But, you got to be critical of United as well for allowing Leeds to get back in this game. And we also have to be very critical of Leeds for allowing United to actually win the game from the position that, they were in. So, you know what I mean? But in the end, I think United do deserve the win. Leeds deserve a couple slaps across their heads because they're numbskulls at best. I can't put no other way. No other way. You do not get back into a game and still play open football. You one track minded, one only plan A, no plan B, no plan C, no plan D, nothing. Bielsa just knows one way. Go out there and take the game to the opposition. And they have absolutely no game management skills. None. And you got to criticize the manager for that one. But look, it was rainy and windy conditions. And that was the conditions in most of the games. But this one, it was quite bad. It was quite bad. For the lineups, man, Rafinha left on the bench. Dan James started against his old team. Rodrigo and Harrison, who was a youth player for Man United, led the front line. Stuart Dallas in the team, fit again. But we know this is a team where players are all over the place. You see what I'm saying? Robin Koch, who picked up an injury in this game, head injury, had to go off after trying to stay on. He's playing defense sometimes. He's playing midfield sometimes. You see what I'm saying? So they're just all over the place, man, in terms of the selection. Rodrigo was the lone striker. Sometimes he's playing in the midfield. Sometimes he's playing as a winger. So I think they for Bielsa, these guys are just units and not really individuals, if you understand what I'm saying. And you got to fit the mold to be a Leeds player. You got to be hardworking. You got to be willing to play anywhere and scrap it out. But it has been a very scrappy season for Leeds, as they are definitely in the relegation scrap. We're not going to take any half measures when it comes to that and, be kind and be like, no, they have been quite shite this season. Okay? After impressive first season back in the Premier League, after a while, they have been doo-doo at most. Manager is to be blamed as well for his lack of game management skills. But look, for Manchester United, Aaron Wan-Bissaka started. He's been in and out of the team. Jesse Lingard, his first start in 2 years. Paul Pogba in as well after he missed the midweek game. Well, he didn't start the midweek game against Brighton, where Fred, Elanga, and Dalot were dropped to the bench. And look, it turned out to be the right move made by Rangnick, as these players were brought on later on in the game and affected play big time. Actually won the game for Manchester United. So in terms of some of the events of the game, you see Jadon Sancho. I must give Jadon Sancho some credit. I give him stick. Twitter was all over him, all season. But he has improved in leaps and bounds, man. Gotta give it to him, man. He's finding his own in the Premier League and he's playing better. He is playing better. You know what I mean? But he's still a snake. But he's playing some better football. I gotta give it to him. You guys know I'm fair. I'm gonna call it how it is. So Harrison with a chance at the 5th minute, put wide, needed to test the hair, failed to do so. Scott McTominay smashed into Robin Koch and there was a break in play. I don't understand how Scott McTominay did not receive more than one yellow card in this game. He should have been sent off. Scott McTominay should have been sent off in this game. I don't think he even got a yellow card for that. He didn't. But he did receive a yellow card somewhere in the match, though. For his, in the 78th minute. For his consistent fouling. He should have got sent off. He was too rash. Gotta call you out, bro. Gotta call you out. So we must note that only Norwich City has a worse defense this season than Leeds United. So that's how bad they have been. Forshaw with a shot saved in the 22nd minute by David De Gea. And Adam Forshaw has actually never scored a goal for Leeds United. So that would have been a great time to do so. Cristiano Ronaldo had a shot saved at point blank range by Ilhan Melier, who's only had a few clean sheets this season as well. It was a good contest for the first half hour of the game, I gotta say. And then Robin Koch went off after the head knock. Junior Firpo came on and had a rough game. And I think Firpo has he's one of the players who has to be blamed for his complacency and giving away the ball, in the second half there. The Maguire goal came. I missed the Maguire goal. I'm going to keep it real, guys. I was watching this game at work. I actually, was kind of sleepy. I dozed off a bit. Yeah, I was at work. But while I'm at work, I'm in a pickup. I'm at the airport. So I'm in a pickup waiting for calls and things like that. And I kind of dozed off watching the game. Maybe it wasn't the most entertaining game like I thought, right? But, dozed off. Bam. He scored. Didn't see that goal. And then I heard when the goal happened. And then I dozed off again. And then the Bruno Fernandes goal came. So, Man United with 2 goals towards the back end. I'm really honest, right? I know. Big up to A-Bob in the house, by the way. Nice to see you. Nice to see you after a while. A-Bob coming in, man. Nice to see you. And 2-0 at halftime there for Manchester United. And I think, better showing at the back end of the first half there. After Leeds did test them out in the first half. And 2-0. Manchester United should have never allowed Leeds to get back in this game. But that is exactly what Leeds did. Rafinha, he came on in for the second half. I think the change was made right here. Harrison off, Rafinha on, Diego Llorente off, Joe Gelhardt on. So Bielsa showed that intent where he needed 2 goals to get back in the game. And it was surprising, very surprising, but also not surprising that Manchester United allowed 2 goals. The first goal, Rodrigo. That was actually an attempted cross that sailed into the back of the net. And we've seen something like that already this season where Masuaku scored a similar goal from a cross. And leads back with a 2-1 scoreline. And then Rafinha scored. Bruno Fernandes caught in possession, protested and tried to get a foul for that one. VAR said it was okay. Dan James picked out Rafinha at the far post for the tap-in. Poor defending by Manchester United. And Leeds back in the game. I was like, Jesus Christ, what a comeback by Leeds. I made a note. They should have shut up shop. They should have shut up shop there. And I also made a note that would they have anything in the tank left for Liverpool after the effort they put in to get back in the game? All Leeds United needed to do was shut up shop. It is that simple. Shut up shop. Play for the draw. Play for the point. You're in a relegation scrap right now. And you would not have been disappointed. Who is this? Who is this player? Is this Matthias Klick? With these weird tattoos of tropical islands and, whatever those are. But they have a one-track mind. They only think about attacking. They don't play defensive football. They don't. Ralph Rangnick, better known as Jesus to the Manchester United fans, right? Because Savior, coming in to save him. He made 2 big calls. Elanga and Fred in, Pogba and Lingard off. The goal came immediately. Fred, good build-up. Firpo lost the ball. Bruno Fernandes to Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo laying it off to Fred. I think that was Ronaldo with the assist, if I'm not mistaken. Let me get this right. So, that was actually, Ronaldo laid off to Fred. Fred to Sancho, and then Sancho back to Fred for the goal near post. Melier could have saved it, but that was a good shot. And this is the Fred that I actually fell in love with at Shakhtar Donetsk. I don't like him anymore, though. He snubbed City. He was supposed to be a City player back in 2017. I think he made 2018. 2018, he joined Man United before the World Cup, I think. But, you know, he was supposed to join City. He chose to join United, whatever, Fred. But that's Shakhtar Donetsk Fred for you right there. Good goal. United back in the lead. Great team goal. The change worked. Leeds with poor game management. And my question for Man United was, could they hold on to that lead again? Yes, they did. It took a few minutes, you know, for Anthony Elanga to almost score, but that was a weak left-footed shot. Very open game, end-to-end stuff. United looking to extend the lead. They themselves wasn't even managing the game well, if you ask me. But the fact that Leeds were chasing the match, it left them open for the counter and just for the Man United attacks. And another goal came for Elanga, who scored after good work by Bruno Fernandes. And I must note that Anthony Elanga, even with the disappointment of the penalty miss against Middlesbrough, where Man United got knocked out and he received some abuse, I must say that this young man, Anthony Elanga, right here pictured, has stepped up in the absence of Mason Greenwood. And, you know, life is a funny thing where you lose one, you gain two or three, right? And Anthony Elanga has been given the opportunity under Ralph Rangnick, and he is shining. He looks very mature beyond his years. And with no Mason Greenwood in the fray right now, Anthony Elanga has emerged, right? So Greenwood is already a forgotten man. If Greenwood never comes back, he'll just make for a great story, right? Oh, he was so good. And then he made vagina got the best of him. You see what I'm saying? So Anthony Elanga, he's blossoming in the absence of Greenwood. See that? See how it works? Man United held on. Emphatic game. 4-2 thriller. And, you know, tense and scrappy at the end. But a lot of fights, a lot of yellow cards. 9 in total, I think. And that was actually Man United's first game in front of an Ellen Road crowd since about 2002. So it made for a good spectacle. I did predict a United win though, because Leeds United they have been poor lately. Let me double check and make sure I did predict a Man United win for this one. Guys, we're gonna talk about Liverpool, Manchester City right now. Okay, just bear with me. Just bear with me. It's coming up right now. I did predict a 2-1 win for United, so I didn't predict them to lose the game, and they went on to win. So yeah. Super subs Fred and Elanga give Man United epic win. It was indeed an epic game. And you could see Jadon Sancho, man of the match here. And I think he deserves it. Big time. Big time. So Cristiano Ronaldo was taken off. He wasn't mad. He had a good game as well, for the most part, without scoring. So, Bob, Greenwood isn't kicking himself right now. But to be honest, I think we play better without him. So the scum, let me see. The scum waited 18 years to get battered at home. Leeds have been receiving a battering by the hands of Man United, though, we gotta say. So, guys, look. Now ain't no time for no joke thing. Lower this music right now. Lower the music. Lower the music, right? Lower the music. I think this segment calls for an official wardrobe change. Give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. This is too official not to... Listen, this is too official. Too official, right? Not to pull out the blazer. See what I'm saying? Way too official not to pull out the blazer. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let us talk. This is huge. This is huge, right? Let us talk. Let's go back here briefly. I'll come back full screen, but big up to each and everybody in here. Let me see if I missed anything. Let me see if I missed any super chat or anything. Okay, no, we're good on that. Big up to each and every person in here. We got 100 plus people in the house. Guys, make sure you like the video. We got 160 likes so far. Could we get a like up to 200? That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. If you're watching the replay, smash up the thumbs up button. Manchester City 2. Tottenham Hotspur 3. What a game. What a game. This has to be one of the best games I've seen in a long time, even though my team, City, came out on the losing end. It was a hell of a spectacle for the Premier League. Frustrating. Let's just go back here. Let's just go back. Dejan Kulusevski, 4th minute. We concede these type of goals way too often. Way too often. The Harry Kane ball in behind, Jesus Lord. God damn. What a ball. To cut apart the defense, Ruben Diaz out of position. And I think it was poor by the City defense. The line was way too high. At least somebody stay back. You see what I'm saying? For the protection. Somebody stay back at least. The defense was cut apart by the slick move by Spurs. And Harry Kane with the vision. Picking out Son. Son with the presence of mind, the patience to just tee up Kulusevski after Edison had rushed out, and the defenders who are trying to get back to, too late. Big up to Dejan Kulusevski, first goal in the Premier League. And I was thinking to myself, how the hell did Juventus let this player go after newly acquiring him from Atalanta? Like, I don't get it, right? Kulusevski had a quality game. I think Kane was imperious, but the man to really break City's backbone, I think it's Dejan Kulusevski, and his control and his maturity and his poise on the ball, especially for the setup for the winning goal. Kulusevski deserves a lot of credit here. But that was the first goal, right? That was the first goal. 1-0 to Spurs. And I'm like, okay, whatever, man. Whatever. But yeah, for real, I was like, okay, we'll get back in this game. We've been, coming from behind in a few games lately. We'll get back in the game. It's okay. And we did. Ilkay Gundogan, 33rd minute. Gundogan has been in the goals for the last 2 seasons. And coming up with a good goal again. And it was a deserved goal, as City, after going behind, were very dominant in the match. Possession high. The numbers was high. And one time I heard them talking about 90% possession in the game and all. Spurs, under Conte, they had a game plan. They were just planning to be compact, keep City out, and break on a counter. That's the blueprint. You could search the internet and the blueprint to beat City, and that'll probably show up. These games like this will probably show up. And every time City lose a game, it's the same exact way. Same. I kid you not. We lose or draw a game, it's the same way we drop points. It's not good. It is not good. It means that we're not learning from our mistakes. We're not at all. We're not learning. And going into the break, 1-1, I'm not going to remember every moment from the game because I really didn't write any notes down because the game was so tense. And I didn't even watch the highlights because I didn't want to relive that freaking game. I really didn't. And I was supposed to talk about the game right after it was over, just to give you that raw reaction. But to be honest, guys, I was actually busy. I was honestly busy, where you guys know, I got a lot of things going on. And I mean, get off of work, got to drop the wife to work and things like that. But I could have, done something, like something small. But then, I have my little son. If I went outside, he would have want to come out with me. And I was like, you know what, I'll put this off until Sunday. But I'm only talking about this on the Monday. You see, and this happened since Saturday. So I'm not delaying this. I didn't delay it on purpose. I really didn't delay it on purpose. I'm not hiding or anything. I'm here to let you know exactly how I feel. So look, let's go back again, right? As I need to get a timeline here. The Harry Kane goal, 59th minute. And to be honest, some of these goals are a blur to me, because they were counter-attacking goals, and they were just devastating. You see what I'm saying? It was just devastating counter-attacks by Tottenham. Son with another assist in the 59th minute to tee up Harry Kane. And Kane could have scored a hat-trick in this game, right? I think he had a goal disallowed and one saved by Edison. But every time Tottenham went forward, they looked dangerous. Every time. And I'm wary of this. I'm wary. Man City, they play games where, or matches I should say, where they don't defend a lot. They're hardly in defense, right? They're mostly attacking, and they have most of the ball, where in this game, it was 72%. So City were dominant in possession, dominant in the final third, but just not scoring. 21 total shots with 4 on target, And for Spurs, they only had 6 shots at goal. 5 of them on target. 5, including that save by Edison, the 3 goals that went in, and another one. And they only had 6 shots at goal. Only 6 attempts with 28% of the ball all game, and they win. How does it happen? Only against Manchester City. And it's mind-boggling how we go on to lose games this way. In this period of the season as well, where Tottenham are coming off of 3 consecutive losses. This result is not a logical result at all, where how did it manage to pull this off? How? Because City's defense, just the high line and the complacency with the possession of the ball, and anytime you turn over possession or a failed attack, the team got to transition and catch players out of position. And our defense isn't that quick. Cancelo ain't that quick. It's only Kyle Walker, and he wasn't that great in the game coming up against his old team. He wasn't that great. You see what I'm saying? His speed did save him on a few occasions, but Ruben Diaz is slow as a snail. Laporte is slow. Cancelo is like mid-tier. Rodri is the slowest thing. So our defense is not quick. So the fact that we play a high line, it works, because you give options to the midfielders to pass the ball and to keep possession, but it's our Achilles heel. For Liverpool, it's also an Achilles heel, but they have Van Dijk. He's quick. Robertson's quick. You see what I'm saying? So they do have that working in their favor at times, but City, not at all. And we keep conceding these dumb goals, man. These dumb goals, these counter-attacking goals. And when they went 2-1 up, I was like, God damn, right? I was on my way home from work. I actually pulled over on the side of the road. Let me tell you guys the story here. I pulled over on the side of the road. I'm watching the game. I'm like, we got to get back in this match, right? Tottenham, we had a reprieve where the goal was scored and then chalked off for offside. And I was like, this is a sign. Something's going to happen here. Pep did brought on Mahrez. Sterling had a poor game in my opinion. He was manhandled by Ryan Sessegnon. He was really handled. I think Pierre-Emile Højbjerg added to the team was actually a great addition where, he hasn't been involved a lot. And I think Bentancur actually was involved in this match as well in the midfield, and he added a lot of impetus. So when you have two hard-working midfielders like Bentancur and Højbjerg in there, it's always going to be, good for teams on the transition and teams that just want to stay compact in defense, where these guys are going to help out and do the dirty work as well. You see, and you have the speed of Kulusevski and Son, with Kane dropping back as a creator and sometimes going forward when, you get numbers in the final third. So it was this performance. It's a masterclass by Tottenham where you don't have to dominate possession, but just play smart. Keep them out, break, you win the game. We were behind. We got back in the game, and this is where I was at. This is where I'm pissed off with Pep, right, and the team. We had a Leeds United moment. Let me just put it that way. We had a Leeds United moment, right, where we wanted to win the game. We want to be ahead of Liverpool. We want to keep the gap healthy. When we had the reprieve of the offside goal, and then we ended up getting the handball, we've been getting a lot of penalties. I don't know what's going on, but we've been getting a lot of penalties. You could call us Pen City, right? And Mahrez stepped up after the Romero. Romero had a good game. I got to put it out there. Romero had a very good game, and he was unlucky that, it was him hands in the ball there. That was the lifeline to just get 1 point. And we only deserved 1 point after the display. A lot of opportunities. I'm not going to get into them. Gundogan hit the post. Hugo Lloris, forced into a couple big saves. I'm not going to get into each and every one of these chances. I didn't make notes, so I'm not going to remember everything. But I would like us to take some more shots from distance. I would like us to put the ball into the box more earlier. You know what I'm saying? We're a passing team, but throwing a long ball here and there, you never know what it does to a compact defense, to a team that's playing negative football. You see what I'm saying? You never know. The ball could bounce around, a defender could make a mistake, bang, you score. But when we got that equalizer, I was like, yeah, boy, yeah. All right, I left one spot. I went and parked up in front of my house. And I'm like, okay, now I could breathe easy. We could see off this game. Actually, we could win the game. I was thinking we could win the game too. And that's what City tried to do, win the game. But we took the wrong approach. We should have tried to just get the point. We should have tried to get the point. But after we equalized, Tottenham was like, whoa. They had to win. They felt like they had to win the game because the goal came in the 92nd minute. How are you going to score a 92nd minute goal, right? To equalize. How? Make this make sense to me. How are you going to score a 92nd minute to equalize with 3 minutes or so left, well, maybe 4 minutes. It was like 7 minutes of extra time. 5 minutes left to see off the game, to just humble yourself and accept the draw. You go for the win, leave yourself vulnerable once again. Kulusevski, brilliant work, brilliant. And to get the cross into the box, Kane positioning himself in the right place. Kyle Walker failing to even get off the ground. I think I thought I was playing FIFA career mode or something where you try to jump up off the ground and the player gets in. This game was scripted. It had to be a scripted game of FIFA career mode. It had to be. Because I don't understand how Tottenham, who were negative throughout the whole game, ended up scoring in that moment. In the way that they did. I don't... And when I saw Kane celebrate, I'm saying to myself, please be offside again. Wasn't offside. A heart-wrenching defeat. I have to say, I felt this defeat. I felt it. Because it felt so good when we had equalized. It put a smile on my face. It put a big smile on my face. And I think the moment we equalized and we were actually, I can't remember. I can't even remember if I had came into the house then. But I couldn't believe we had conceded another goal. I couldn't. I don't know if it's the prayers of the millions of Liverpool fans that, were answered by the football gods. You know what I mean? That we end up losing that game to put the title race open again. But I don't understand how we lost the game. We should have never lost the game. But it's how City lose games. That is how we lose games. Tottenham did the double over us this season. And I've been talking a lot of shit about Tottenham. If the Tottenham fans only watched this channel and they knew, they would be coming at me. There may be one or two or a few of them, you know what I mean? But that was a disappointing performance. And I've seen it too often. We don't lose a lot. Don't act like we lose a lot, right? We don't. We really don't. But when we lose, it's mind-boggling. It's only the third loss this season. And whenever we do lose, it's like I can't wrap my head around how did this happen? And you go back to the draw against Southampton there. So in the last 5 games, we have dropped points. But we were on a mad run. We're on a mad run, right? You got to look at the positives here. You got to look at the positives. The title race is open again. The title race is open, right? There's interest now in the Premier League. Whenever I talk Premier League, there's going to be interest now. You guys are going to start coming back now to the live stream where the numbers have been dwindling lately. You know what I mean? People, City running with the league. I don't care. You know what I mean? Everybody bitter and everybody salty about it. But now people's spirits are up again because City lost to Spurs for the second time this season. And now the title race is blown open again. Liverpool fans are, over the moon. Astronauts. They think they could actually do the quadruple this season. You know what I mean? We talk about that. We'll definitely talk about that. But look. Look. We needed more. And I think we needed more in all departments of the field. You know what I mean? The midfield didn't do enough. De Bruyne didn't do enough in the game. Sterling, Bernardo, and Foden had a frustrating time, on the, at the office, in that game. Defenders, I think, had a poor match. But credit goes out to Antonio Conte and Spurs for bouncing back after losing 3 consecutive games. Don't forget that. This team is coming off of 3 losses. 3 losses. But it takes character and it takes a lot of determination to do what Spurs did there. And took a lot of planning as well. Conte does have Pep's number. And this could be one of the biggest games of the season where it gave Liverpool a lifeline to win the title. I have to keep it real. I got to keep it real. Where I thought that it was over, it was over for City. It was over. City, the league is over. It's the Farmers League now. Guys, this thing is real now. This thing is real. I don't know if anybody is saying City's going to still. This thing is real now. I'm not nervous or scared or anything because, to be honest, if Liverpool managed to win the league from the position they were in and the position that City were in, it would be a great league title. You see what I'm saying? I have to keep it real here. It would be a great league title. It would make for a great story. And first of all, there would be interest. Because City's making a mockery of the league. It's ridiculous now. It is ridiculous now. Won last season, did back-to-back, previous seasons, and it would be ridiculous. But I just want to share some stats from this game. Let's share some stats. Let's just share some stats for you. And get the stats section here. And you can see how one-sided it was and only the goal department was favoring Spurs. 21 shots for City, 4 on target, had 72% of the ball, 755 passes with a 91% pass accuracy, almost immaculate passing. 10 corners. 10. You had 10 set piece opportunities along with a couple free kicks, and you don't capitalize. You're taking these short corners all the time. Get the ball in the box. Get some runners. You see what I mean? I know it works at times, but get the ball in the box, man. Directly in the box. You have Eric Dyer at the back there. Come on. You know, you have Ben Davies. Something must give. And I think we made some poor decisions in the match. Tottenham didn't have a single corner, because they were hardly ever in the final third. But when they were in the final third, they capitalized and they made it count. They made it count. You see what I mean? 6 shots, 5 on target, 28% of the ball, 308 passes with a 78% pass accuracy. Never should win a game, but we know that's not how football works, and it's all about tactics and strategies. It's chess, not checkers. Sometimes the prettier team does not always win. You see what I mean? So quality stuff there in terms of the game plan. The game plan is what won Tottenham the game. Another thing I have to say, Harry Kane is actually showing City. I actually have a feeling, I don't know, I may be wrong, but Harry Kane might still be interested in joining City, and City could still be interested in signing Harry Kane after the failed bid last summer. Think about it. Harry Kane, okay all season, and going through a slump with the 3 losses, and all of a sudden a masterclass against Manchester City. Like, come on. Like, who are you kidding? Who are you kidding? I have a feeling City's going back for this guy. It's either going back for this guy or Erling Haaland. It's either, situation like that. And Harry Kane put on a performance that could definitely convince Pep Guardiola and the Manchester City board to splash that cash on him again. To attempt to splash the cash on him. What do you guys think? Just let me know your thoughts on that one, because that was a magnificent performance by Harry Kane. Clinical in front of goal. Should have actually scored a hat-trick if you ask me. And, we got caned, basically. We definitely got caned. You see what I mean? So he got man of the match. Definitely got man of the match. And in terms of some insights here, Harry Kane's winner for Tottenham, timed at 94-25, was the latest winning goal scored against Manchester City in the Premier League since Michael Owen for Manchester United in September of 2009. That happened 95-27. It was also the second latest winner in the competition scored against a side starting the day top of the table since up to have exact times available from 2006 to 7 after Danny Welbeck for Arsenal against Leicester in February of 2016, 94-28. So I'm telling you, it was a weird situation of, how a team like Manchester City, who does not concede a lot of goals, best defense in the league, end up conceding 3 in the game and a late goal at that to lose. Come on, man. Tottenham are only the 4th side ever to complete a league double over a side managed by Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola after Chelsea 2016-17, that's Antonio Conte. Man United 2019-20, that's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And Wolves 2019-20, that's Nuno Espirito Santo. Man City boss Pep Guardiola has only lost more games to Chelsea, 8, than Tottenham, 6 in his entire managerial career. Tottenham are our bogey team indeed. Title race blown wide open after 5 points dropped in the recent matches against Southampton and Spurs. Big question I gotta ask. Are we bottling the fucking league? Are we? And the expletive, very necessary. Or we battle in the league. Because I said, if we battle the league, just get rid of Pep, man. Seriously. Get rid of him. Because you don't battle the league from that position. You don't come from being third to jumping up at first by Christmas and then having Salah and Mane away at the AFCON, having Mendy away, having Chelsea playing the Club World Cup and, being in front and allow Liverpool to come back. Come on, man. Come on. It was not foreseeable. But now it is in sight. It is in sight. Could we go empty-handed this season as well is another question. Could we fail in the Champions League? We have already failed in the Community Shield, failed in the EFL Cup. Could we fail in the FA Cup and fail in the league to win nothing empty-handed? That reminds you of something, right? People say, empty-had. You know the empty-had joke? Could we go empty-handed this season? Could we? Could we? That's also a possibility. That's also a possibility. But if we do go empty-handed, whoever wins the trophies truly deserved it. Because guess what? Manchester City are one hell of a team. This loss does not discount anything from this team. This team, I still do think, is the best in the league, probably the best in the world. Because they just play so well as a unit. This is a minor or maybe a major setback that we have to bounce back and we have to respond to. I'm disappointed, but you win some, you lose some. Some of them more costly than others. And I got to give it to Spurs. Executed their game plan down to a T. Second best. We got to settle for the loss on the day. And look forward to how we're going to bounce back. They say the best teams are judged on how well they can bounce back from defeat. There's 12 games left. 12 games. Could Manchester City go on to win all the remaining matches, or are we going to see the team battle the league title? That's my thoughts on the game. Okay? And I think I did a great job and for this highly anticipated match review. Not happy. But at the same time, I must be grateful for, what the team has done this season and the position that we are still in terms of the league title and in terms of the league position. So let's go back here really quick and you could see, just want to give you guys updates on, the next games. So for City, they're top of the league still. Currently 6 points ahead of Liverpool, who do have a game in hand against Leeds United. I will talk about that soon. And we have a 13-point gap over Chelsea. So Liverpool are the only team to really stress about right now. If there's any stress right now. Pep Guardiola is stressing. You know what I mean? Believe it or not, he's already working on the game plan for the Liverpool match that's coming up in April. The next game will be against Everton, right? That should be a win, but you never know. Everton are desperate. You never know. Man United, at the Etihad should be a win, but you never know as well. So we could see a situation where Liverpool could pass us, right? It could happen. It could happen. There's the Peterborough game in the FA Cup. Champions League in, second leg, Sporting with 5-0 up already. So should just see that out. But then there's games against Crystal Palace, Brighton, Burnley before the Liverpool match. And it's going to be a tricky end to the season. But I'm looking forward to every freaking minute of it. For Tottenham, who are in 8th position right now on 39 points, still in the hunt for a top 4 spot. The next game is against Burnley. I'll talk about that one soon in this live stream. Then they do have Leeds United, Middlesbrough in the FA Cup, and then Everton and Manchester United on March 12th. So congratulations to Antonio Conte and his boys. And hard luck to my boys, the Citizens, Let's see if this loss is detrimental or if it's just a blip. So how's everybody doing? A big up to each and every person in here. We got over 200 people in the house, and I'm hoping for the remainder of the season we continue racking up these numbers for the live streams. Okay, I look to go live more often, as there's a lot of talking points and there's a title race now. So guys, come out in your numbers, support the thing, you know what I mean? Too many times where the thing hasn't been supported and we are getting these paltry numbers, and it's not making it worth. You got to make my time worthwhile. You see what I'm saying? Because I've been putting in a lot of effort into this channel. You might not see it, but it's there. So big up to each and every person in the house. Guys, do we have 200 thumbs up yet? We need 18 more. 18 more to get to 200. Let's get to 200 before we start talking Liverpool, Norwich. Okay, could we do it? Could we make that happen? Like to take the time to say big up to Ryan, who's still in here. Giordano Cruz. Imagine City battle the league, United battle fourth, Everton gets relegated, and LFC win a treble. That would be a great season for Liverpool. That's what you're basically saying. Wale, City is a good team, but without European trophy or Club World Cup, don't call them best in the world. All right, okay, fair enough. Richard O'Brien. That's the difference with Pep and Klopp. Klopp is not looking past Leeds. He's not even playing for the EFL finals yet. I don't think Pep does that, Pep plays every game. Pep plays game by game. If you watch his interviews, that's what he say. He say, we're focusing on this game. So I think Klopp could be more liked. He's a more liked manager amongst the fans. And Pep, always criticized of having a big budget and things like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Big up to Jove in the house. We only come when City lose. We love it. Yeah, I know, man. I know. Big up to Abel in the house. Who else we got here, man? Big up to Mr. Ajulo. Lego Dude in the hair. Dupe still around. We got A Bob in the house. And what else we got? Did I miss anything? Big up to the obvious girl in the house, man. How are you doing? Nice to see you in here. Who else we got? Did I miss anybody? Matata United, how are you feeling? Emmanuel Opoku in the house, man. Nice to see you, Emmanuel. Benji Asare, if you're still in here. Rampage of Fun. Everybody who's in here right about now, man. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. We've been live for 2 hours, 21 minutes, and we're winding the thing down. But we still have a lot to go because I have 4 midweek fixtures to talk about, and, we still have one more game to talk about. And that game, Liverpool 3, Norwich City 1. Congrats to Liverpool on staying in the title race and for winning this game. And I must say that I thought it was going to be a different result. From the lineup that I saw and the way Liverpool were actually performing in the match, I predicted a win. I did predict a win for Liverpool. And if you go back to my prediction, I predicted a 3-0 win for the Reds. But I never expected Klopp to put out a lineup like this at all. And we're talking about 7 changes, right? 7 changes. Liverpool are now actually 16 consecutive games at home without a loss, which is brilliant. And that's 12 wins, 4 draws. And they have won their last 7 home games or 7 league games, if I'm not mistaken, by 20 to 2. So look, they came off of a win in the Champions League game as well. So even though it wasn't the most convincing performances, they still managed to pick up the wins. But I was shocked by the 11. I gotta say that 7 changes: Gomez, Tsimikas, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Henderson, Naby Keita, Luis Diaz, and Matip in the team. I was like, what is going on here? I think Klopp might get this wrong. Klopp might actually get this thing wrong. And I was like, whoa, could be seeing Liverpool dropping points. As a City fan, you watch the game. That's what you hope for. I'm gonna keep it real. What am I gonna lie to you for? That's what you Liverpool fans hope for when you watch City games, not for us to win. You see what I'm saying? Not even for us to draw, but for us to lose. So why do you think I'm going to be different? So, look, for Norwich, Matthias Norman in and Pierre-Lise Melou out, I think was the only change made by Dean Smith, who actually beat Liverpool last season with Aston Villa. I don't mean to remind. Let me not do that. Let me not remind you of that loss last season there to Dean Smith, Aston Villa. But early chance for Liverpool in this game. 5th minute, Salah to Tsimikas. That was a big chance put over by the Greek international. And I have to say that Liverpool, with a lot of chances in the first half, and they didn't make use of their dominance. Norwich stayed in the game for the most part. So, a lot of chances. I'll read you out the stats and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So, basically against the run of play, early in the second half, Norwich scored. It was a deflected goal. I know Liverpool fans love to say, oh, deflection. It's a goal, guys. It's a goal deemed to be, it's now been given to Milo Rashica. At first, during the match, they were actually saying it was an own goal for Joel Matip, but it seems as if the goal is now being awarded to Rashica, who, with that goal, has now become the first Kosovan player to score in the Premier League. So, round of applause to the former Werder Bremen man for becoming the first man from the former Yugoslav nation there, former Serbian nation, I should say, of Kosovo. Serbians still do think Kosovo is Serbia to score in the Premier League. But we're not going to get into those political things right about now. So, great work by Josh Sargent, I got to say. And you got to give Rashica the credit for taking on Ox, who was a bit standoffish, and taking a shot, deflected off Matip, who stuck a leg out to beat Allison in goal to, that was the only blemish, basically, at the game there where Liverpool could have got the clean sheet but failed to do so. So, it meant that Liverpool had to respond and chase the game, and Norwich had to manage that lead. And it would have always been a difficult task, because after Liverpool went behind, we saw a different Liverpool team where they were just going at it. They were just at it, man. It was like the realization had hit that, hey, man, something gotta look, can't afford to drop points here. Not even 3 against Norwich. City's gonna run away with this league. Or if both teams had lost, the point gap would have remained the same. But to get 3 and City get none is a big boost, right? Big boost. So I noted that Norwich City actually celebrated that goal. It was like a FIFA career moment, right? FIFA career mode moment, where, you're playing, you get scored on, the players celebrate like they had just won the Champions League. Over the top. Max Aarons, yeah. Milo Rashica, yeah. I know you got to celebrate, but come on, man. Come on. Calm yourself down. You're playing Liverpool. You see what I'm saying? You're not playing Watford. You feel me? And I think that's the mistake that they made. They scored, and then they got complacent, and then the mistakes started to get, just come into their game. But to be honest, they were under some immense pressure there, because when Klopp made these changes, Oxlade-Chamberlain off, Thiago on, and this other change here of Divock Origi coming on for Naby Keita, it was like instant success, instant effect. Like they just brought something to the game that Liverpool lacked. Maybe they just needed a refresher. Maybe the game needed that break. Who knows? Who knows? But that was an impetus after Liverpool had that sustained period of pressure, numerous chances not taken, and the goal came. And look, let me actually get a bit bigger for this. The goal came after a period of sustained and continuous pressure. But I gotta say, what a goal. What a goal. What a goal. The Norwich City player lost the ball. Gotta give credit to Joe Gomez, right? He passed the ball to Jordan Henderson. And Henderson with the pick out to Tsimikas. And Tsimikas with the first time layoff to Mane. And I think the Norwich defenders thought that Mane was actually going to take a touch. Because the way the ball was coming in, the trajectory of the ball, okay, he's going to bring it down. And then we're going to close him down. You know, Hanley, he was having a great game. McLean, these guys were having a great game. Defending and keeping out Liverpool, throwing them off, big blocks. They were ahead at that moment. You know, they were ahead, you know, just before that moment. But Sadio Mane, what a spectacular goal. He was trying to pull it off. You know, I think he had an attempt during the game that he, you know, a spectacular attempt that he didn't pull off. That will go down as one of the best goals this season. If not the best. But that was brilliant. And that takes a lot of skill. That takes a lot of confidence. And look, this is a man coming off of an African Cup of Nations win. A man coming off of an African Cup of Nations win. And the man that I'm going to talk about next, a man coming off of an African Cup of Nations loss, he's out for blood. So that's a combination that is very deadly. One confident, another one very confident but hurt and out to prove, you know, people wrong as well. That's a deadly combination. Also, with a new player who wants to prove himself in Lewis, you know, so that makes for a recipe. That's a recipe for a very, very dangerous Liverpool team going into their last 13 games of the season in a title race here. But that goal, spectacular, 1-1 for Liverpool there. And 3 minutes late, it didn't take 5 minutes. It took 3 for Liverpool to go into the lead. And as a City fan watching this game, I was like, God damn, Norwich, you had it, you blew it, right? You let them in the game, but for God's sake, defend. They went on the attack, a failed attack. Alisson turned defense into attack in a blink of an eye to pick out Salah. I told you guys about that long ball. I was talking to you guys about that long ball that you need sometimes. When that passing, tiki-taka, you know, incisive pass here and there isn't working. When going down the flanks, squaring the ball into the box isn't working. Your long ball, man. Your long ball up. Your long ball over the defense. You're running behind from a long ball, and that's Alisson's assist. Very intelligent to pick out Salah. That's Edison-like, you could say. To pick out Salah, who ran in behind. Angus Gunn, he came out, and it was a mistake. He came out. He slipped. Hanley, and I think it was McLean was the other player, if I'm not mistaken. Both positioned in front of the goal, but the footwork from Mo Salah, the nifty footwork, the players were actually bamboozled because they thought Salah was going to do something and he didn't, and he came back and he got the shot off and it just rolled into the back of the net. That was another really, really good goal. You see what I'm saying? So Mane scored. Of course, Salah has to respond. We might be here thinking that, okay, yeah, Mane and Salah, yeah, these guys are great now. They're better. But don't you forget a couple seasons ago. Don't you forget when Salah and Mane got into the thing where Mane was accusing him of always holding on to the ball and not passing, right? There was a rivalry, and I still think there is a rivalry going on between these players where they recently contested the AFCON final. Mane won. Salah is out, you know, to prove that, look, I am still one of the best players in the world. And even though my confidence has been dented by the AFCON loss, I'm still out to do well. And then there's the World Cup games coming up between Mane and Salah next month again. So, whoa, these players, I'm telling you, it's a deadly combination right now for Liverpool. Deadly, deadly combination. But look, we're going to go back over here. And you could see Alisson with the assist, 67th minute goal there by Mo Salah. And look, that was Salah's 150th goal for Liverpool and his 25th goal this season in all competitions, 17th in the Premier League. Liverpool 2-1 in the lead. And look, a Liverpool team getting into the lead after having to grind their way back in the game wasn't actually going to give up the lead from then on. And they would have just wanted to make the advantage count and just stretch that, that advantage in the game. And that's what they were looking for. Look, Norwich unable to deal with the pressure and they folded. Kudos to Liverpool. The goal came in the 81st minute here. Wonderful build-up. A lot of passes, a lot of players involved, and a very patient build-up. And for Jordan Henderson, if you go back and you watch that goal, while the passing was happening, if you watch Luis Diaz's movement, he was just anticipating, looking at the Norwich defenders, and looking at them getting drawn to the action like a moth to a flame. Made the run while still onside, and Henderson picking him out. That was a brilliant ball, I gotta say, right? And Luis Diaz with the great finish as well to score his first goal in Liverpool colours, to go with the assist that he picked up in the FA Cup, right? That was an FA Cup for the Mina goal. So he's already hit the ground running for Liverpool, and it's look, even without the goal and the assist, I knew this guy would have been a great signing. Because I've watched this guy played for Porto, a few times for Colombia, but Colombia has not been playing that well lately. But for Porto, against Manchester City, he scored a spectacular goal on us last season. And this player has definitely left his mark on me as a football fan. And he's just emerged as one of the most exciting players in world football from South America. He's a Colombian, and Liverpool did a great thing to go out there and sign him. When you have intention like this, to sign players of the caliber and quality of Luis Diaz, you would always put yourself in a good position to fight for things. You see what I'm saying? And that is what Liverpool should do more in the future. And guys, you guys, I know you guys agree with what I'm saying. And I want to make another example while I'm on Luis Diaz. If Liverpool should go in for a player like, let's say, Anthony of Ajax or Rafinha of Leeds, that would be, think about how good these signings could be and how good it would make the squad in the future. It will definitely be, without a doubt, favorites along with Manchester City to win the title, without any doubt. You see what I'm saying? If you take a look at the City squad and you take a look at the Liverpool squad, the difference is these little players, you know what I'm saying, like an Origi and an Oxley Chamberlain and a Curtis Jones. You see what I'm saying? City don't have those type of little players. Not many. You see what I mean? You might put Zinchenko in that category, or maybe a Nathan Ake, but not many players. It's just a bunch of top-class players over at City. You see? So I think Liverpool need to emulate that, spend some more money, splash some cash on some Luis Diaz's, and you know what I mean? Some Jotas, some Konates, and you see? This is what you get. So that was a great goal. Another great goal. 3 very good goals for Liverpool to actually come from behind to win the game convincingly in the end against a Norwich City who have not been in bad form lately at all. So great run and awareness by the Colombian, and I must give a notable mention to Grant Hanley. He has been putting in some big performances for Norwich. They defended for their lives, but this game indeed tested Liverpool's patience, and their patience and their faith paid off at the end of the day. So Liverpool are now 6 points behind City. With a game in hand, the title race definitely on. I have a question for you. Is the quadruple on for Liverpool? In the final of the Carabao Cup against Chelsea, still in the Champions League where they have the advantage over Inter Milan going into the quarterfinal, in the FA Cup still, and of course in the Premier League title race. Quadruple is on. It's on. You see what I'm saying? It is on. Remember last season the quadruple was on for Manchester City? Only ended up winning what? One thing was the Premier League. Liverpool gotta win something this season. They gotta win something. If Liverpool don't go on to win something, it will be a disappointing season indeed after setting yourself up and being in this position. But either Liverpool or City could go empty-handed this season. But we know that one of them will win something. One of them will win something and the other could go empty-handed. Or both of them could win something. Maybe one win the league, one win the Champions League, one win the FA Cup, another win the EFL Cup. So let's see how it pans out. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. But look, Liverpool, you could take the EFL Cup. Don't want Chelsea winning anything else this season. You know what I mean? They won the freaking Club World Cup. They won the Super Cup. Let keep the Chelsea fans quiet and let them not win anything else this season. You know what I mean? So, look, just to give you guys one more thing before we go. Actually, two more things. Let's talk the stats really quick for this game. And when I tell you Liverpool were wasteful, they were wasteful, right? 29 shots at goal, 8 on target, 70% possession. Norwich only had 6 shots at goal, 1 on target, 30% of the ball. They weren't that great in the game, but they stayed in the match for 60 plus minutes, over an hour, 63 minutes, but they flunked out at the end, which shows that they do not have enough resilience and stamina, and they can't keep their concentration for long times. So, look, in terms of some insights for you. Liverpool have now scored 100 goals in 39 matches in all competitions this season, becoming the first Premier League club to reach that total in the 2021-22 season. The Reds had scored 97 goals in 53 games in the whole of last season, which shows contrasts of how poor they were last year. Norwich have lost 8 of their last 11 Premier League matches, drawing 1 and winning 2 since the start of December. Only Brentford 9 have lost more games in the competition in this time. The game was the 30th time that both Mo Salah and Sadio Mane scored in the Premier League match for Liverpool, the most of any pair for a side in the competition's history. Buddies, I was talking about these players and their impact, and that's a great insight, man. That's historic. That is historic. African brothers, dynamic duo, and Liverpool they have to keep hold of these players for as long as they could. Maybe for the next 3 years, 4 years, let them retire at the club. You see what I'm saying? But it was a good win. It was a good come from behind win for Liverpool, and they picked up this win, but they didn't know that Man City were actually going to go on to lose to Tottenham. You see what I'm saying? So City needed to respond after this Liverpool win. Didn't. Tie the race wide open once again. So big up to everybody in the chat right about now. Appreciate it. But look, before I'm jumping the gun there, in terms of the next fixtures, man, for Liverpool, the next game is against Leeds United tomorrow. We'll talk about that. And for them, they will also have Chelsea in the EFL Cup final. They have a 5th round FA Cup game against Norwich, and then they have West Ham in the league, where they look to avoid West Ham doing a double over them. And then they have the Champions League against Inter. So a lot of, big games coming up. Every game is a big game, actually, for Liverpool for the rest of the season. Let's just put it that way. And guys, your boy Dom will be here to document the Liverpool, the City, title race, the relegation scrap, the battle for top 4, and to talk about the stragglers in the middle of the table. So for Norwich, they're currently 20th. We know Liverpool are second, right? We know they're second, 57 points, 7 points ahead of Chelsea, and 6 behind City with a game in hand, where if they win that game against Leeds, they would actually be within 3 points, and they're still yet to play City. So that'll be a big 6-pointer coming up in April. For For Norwich, bottom of the pile once again. They did get out the relegation zone briefly, but with the wins from Burnley, Watford, and Newcastle doing well, Norwich find themselves at the bottom of the table after back-to-back losses against both City and Liverpool. Their next game is against Southampton. Then they do have Liverpool in the FA Cup. Then Brentford, Leeds, and Chelsea coming up. So there's some winnable games for them. Let's see how they'll fare. So, guys, after 2 hours, 44 minutes, that's my roundup of match week 26 of this season's English Premier League. And it was a fun one. It was a fun one. We hit 198 likes. Guys, make sure smash up the thumbs up button. My shoulders feel kind of tired from just sitting here for almost 3 hours. But look, I'm a marathon man. I've been doing this for a while, and this ain't nothing. This ain't nothing at all. Ain't nothing. Ain't nothing at all. But guys, look, stick around. Big up to Damien Hustling. Boy, damn, this life took long to come. I'm just tuning in. Yeah, man. Yeah. Big up to Richard O'Brien. Appreciate you. And I got to go back up. I saw a super chat came in. Let me not miss that. And let me just scroll up. Where did it go? Big up to the boy Michael Talks Football. Dropped the €2. Says the title race is on April 9th. Circle the blood clot date. Ooh. Mike doesn't actually use the word blood clot. You know what I'm saying? He's living in Finland, so it's not really part of his vocabulary. So he didn't say that. That's just me adding in that little Caribbean flavor for you. So yeah, guys, gotta get the music back going, and we're gonna go into the second segment of today's live stream, where it's now 16 past midnight. We got to do a midweek Premier League preview. We have to. We gotta. Okay. We gotta. So let's just we did talk about all the fixtures, right? We talk about everything. Let me just make sure we talked about everything. Yeah, we did. And we got some games coming up there. Burnley versus Tottenham, Watford Crystal Palace, Liverpool Leeds, and Arsenal Wolves. Look, let's start with the match between Watford and Crystal Palace. Let's go. Let's not delay, and let's get right into this one. I did some preparations, and we got to talk about these ones as well. Usually, when they have midweek fixtures, I never really do a preview, but it's I think it's important that we do a preview here. It's a lot at stake. Definitely a lot at stake here. Okay? Watford, Crystal Palace. This is a London derby. Not the biggest one, but still a London derby nevertheless. So, Aston Villa 0, Watford 1 in their last game. Crystal Palace 0, Chelsea 1 in their last. What happened the last time these two teams met? They met in the second round of this season's EFL Cup back in August 24th. Watford picked up a 1-0 win. So they're yet to meet in the Premier League this season, because this is a rearranged fixture, guys, right? So previously in the Premier League, Crystal Palace defeated Watford 1-0, and the other game that season ended in a draw. The 1920 season, when Watford were last in the league. In terms of their Premier League record, we got 10 matches, 3 wins for Watford, 4 wins for Palace, and 3 games ending in a draw. I have players to watch for you this time around, and for Watford, I got to go with Ismail Assar, because I think his absence actually hurt Watford, and he was last involved in the win against Manchester United, a big 4-2 win. I think that was 4-2 as a scoreline, and then he got injured, came back, went to the AFCON, got his confidence up, got his form back going, won the AFCON, came back and helped Watford to a win in their last game. So, Saar, definitely want to keep your eye on there. And for Crystal Palace, Wilf had a solid campaign at the AFCON for Ivory Coast. But I need more from Zaha. I think against Chelsea, he had some good opportunities and he needed to be a bit better to put those balls in the back of the net, but didn't. And he would need to actually make amends here against Watford, where Patrick Vieira will surely want to win this game. Look, for some notes here for Watford, Juraj Kuchka is a doubt. He missed the last game. Nicholas Nkulu remains out with an injury. João Pedro missed the last game, and he's a doubt for this one. Samir is also a doubt, along with Peter Etebo, who's close to return, but we could see him featuring in this match after a long injury layoff. For Crystal Palace, Conor Gallagher would return after he was unavailable against his parent club Chelsea. Vicente White went off at halftime. He's a doubt, big doubt. And Nathan Ferguson would be out for this game. Patrick Vieira versus Roy Hodgson. This would be the first meeting between the two managers. A legendary player in Patrick Vieira with Arsenal, and Roy Hodgson has been around since the beginning of time. I actually think he's a vampire, though. You know what I mean? He's been around for way too long. Look, he's coming up against his former team, Crystal Palace. That was a team he managed before Patrick Vieira came in. And it's because Crystal Palace just wanted to, move on from Roy Hodgson. He didn't do a bad job. He actually did a great job at Crystal Palace. Prevented them from getting relegated after that. Frank de Boer or Frank or Ronald, one of them. That debacle at the beginning of a couple seasons ago. And Roy Hodgson has never lost to Crystal Palace in 2 games, winning 1, drawing 1. And Vieira, in his 1 game against Watford, lost it in the EFL Cup. So that's just something to note there. In terms of insights, do we have anything here on these teams? We don't have anything right now, but let me just do a quick double check here on Google and see if I have anything for you in terms of some insights here. Yes, we do. Watford have won 4 of their last 6 meetings with Crystal Palace in all competitions, drawing 1 and losing 1, as many as they had in their previous 20 against them. They've already won a home match against the Eagles this season, winning 1-0 in the EFL Cup second round. After winning their first Premier League away game against Watford, 1-0 in September of 2015, Crystal Palace have failed to win any of their last 4 visits to Vicarage Road in the competition, drawing 3 and losing 1. None of the 7 victories in the Premier League games between Crystal Palace and Watford have been by more than a 1-goal margin. It's the most victories in the Premier League fixture that has seen without any of them winning by more than 1 goal. Watford have conceded at least once in each of their 17 Premier League home games, right? Let me repeat that. Watford have conceded at least once in each of their last 17 Premier League home games. No team has ever failed to keep a clean sheet in 18 consecutive home matches in the competition. The last top flight team to do so were Blackpool, who went 20 top flight home league games without a shutout between April of 1971 and April of 2011, 17 in the Premier League. Crystal Palace have just won once away from home in the Premier League this season and are winless in 7 on the road, 4 draws, 3 losses since beating Man City 2-0 in October. That was also City's last loss before the Tottenham loss. They've drawn their last 3 league games, away league games, last having a longer such run in the top flight between December 1991 and February 1992. So look, in terms of my prediction for this game, though, guys, look, Watford currently under Roy Hodgson have seen the favors, the fortunes turn a bit, where they have picked up 4 points in the last available 12. A draw and a win. Both clean sheets, which shows that there's more defensive resilience there under Roy Hodgson. And the team has they have a clear vision where they know what they need to do. They're in the relegation zone right now. They're fighting for their survival in the league. And this is a good game for them to play against a misfiring Patrick Vieira and Crystal Palace, who they need some wins. They need some wins under their belt right now. Crystal Palace have not won any of their last 5 matches. You gotta actually go back. You gotta go way back. Actually, for Palace, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 games in the Premier League without a win. The last win came on December 28th against Norwich City. So they have been flunking. They have really been, faltering there. For Watford, Emmanuel Dennis, he has been playing well. I think Josh King needs to step up, but Ismail Assar and Dennis would be the key players here for the Hornets. Musa Sissoko deserves a shout. He's been a hero in the midfield for them without any real credit, but he deserves a shout. The new men in Hassani Kamara has stepped in. Samir hasn't done a bad job, even though he's had a few mistakes. Craig Cathcart deserves some credit, and Ben Foster, of course. Some other notable mentions that I'm not really going to get into all the players here, but Watford could be a dangerous team here for Crystal Palace in this mini London derby. For Palace, they have some good attacking players in Mateta, Edward, Hudson-Edward, Zaha, Olise, Conor Gallagher, and Cobalt. They need to step up. They need to produce. They need to be clinical on the day. They have the goalkeeping conundrum with Guaita and, of course, Jack Butland, and it would be Butland featuring in goal. I'm pretty sure he will feature with Guaita and his problems. So I think Crystal Palace are still not a settled 11 there. But look, Guehi and Anderson has done well at the back, but they've been having problems at right back as well. And, Tyreek Mitchell with the mistake in his last game, that would be on his mind. So, look, man, I could see Watford going on to win this one at home, 2-0. Crystal Palace definitely not traveled well this season. And I could see them losing yet another frustrating affair where they might actually go ahead and lose the game from a winning position. So, I'm going to go for Watford 2. Crystal Palace 1. Let's see how this one turn out, but I have to make a prediction. It wasn't the easiest game to predict, but I'm going to go for Watford here to win this, to put some pressure on the teams around them and put some pressure on Crystal Palace as well, where they are not far off the relegation places. Only 26 points, even though they're 13th. That's not far ahead at all. Watford would move within 5 points of Crystal Palace if they pick up a win, while Crystal Palace would go up to 29 points, which could be big in a much needed win. Look, in terms of Crystal Palace, after this game, they do play Burnley, Stoke, and Wolves before they meet City. Some winnable games for them, if you ask me. And for Watford, their next games are against Manchester United, where they look to do the double, Arsenal, Wolves, Southampton. These are some tough games for Roy Hodgson and the Hornets, but you never know, man. You never know. And to talk about the Hornets, I have this big-ass Hornets nest at the back of my house. I need to get rid of it. I don't know if I need to call animal or pest control or something, but I think I need to do that because I'm about to go back there maybe in a few days to continue working on my truck, and I don't want the wind to blow and that heavy ass hornet's nest to fall off and cause a disaster back there, because one time when I was young, I got stung by a bunch of hornets, man. I got stung up by a whole nest of hornets. These are some different hornets back in St. Vincent, but I did get stung by a whole nest of them. And I don't want that to happen again. So that's a cool story, right? I know, Dom. You always hit us with these cool-ass stories, man. So, guys, let me know your prediction in the chat. Do appreciate everybody in the stream and anybody watching a replay right about now. We are going to keep it moving. It's late. It's past midnight. It's 29 minutes past the hour, and we're going to keep it moving in terms of these rearranged fixtures. Let's go into Burnley versus Tottenham. All right, Burnley versus Tottenham here. So, in their last game, Burnley defeated Brighton 3-0. And of course, Tottenham ran to an emphatic emphatic. Very emphatic. 3-2 victory over Manchester City. I can't believe I have to repeat these things. But yeah, that is exactly what happened. 3-2. What a thriller. What happened the last time that Burnley and Tottenham met each other? They did meet in the fourth round of the Carabao Cup this season, where Spurs won the game 1-0, and this will be the first meeting in the league this season. But Burnley only have one win in their last 10 in all competitions against Tottenham, and there's been 2 Premier League draws in there as well, 2 1-1 draws. They will be looking to draw inspiration from those positive results. So, players to watch, in my opinion, here for Burnley, the new man Wout Weghorst, who would be a key figure coming up against Boyd Tottenham team, who are full of confidence after that win against City. Or maybe they would be short on energy after the effort they put out against Man City. Who knows what would happen there? Maybe the adrenaline is still pumping. So look out for Weghorst. He's been in the goal, picked up his first goal and been assisting as well. He's been a very good addition to the Burnley squad with the loss of Chris Wood. He might actually be an upgrade on Chris Wood if you ask me. So for Spurs, I actually went in with a dual players to watch here. Harry Kane and Dejan Kulusevski will look to continue their partnership up top along with Heung-min Son. But I'm going for Kulusevski and Kane, who were devastating going forward against Manchester City. No explanation needed. They were amongst the goals and the assists as well. And these guys will be key if Tottenham are to topple the Clarets here at Turf Moor. So we go over to the player section here. We were in the stats area, definitely stats area. But before we do go into the player section, all-time results here between these two teams: 14 matches total, 2 wins for Burnley, 9 wins for Spurs, and 3 draws in terms of their Premier League results. Home record for Burnley is a good one against Spurs. Their 2 wins did come at home. 2 out of their 3 draws at home, and they've only lost 3 times at home to Spurs. In terms of the managers here, Antonio Conte versus Sean Dyche. This will be the 5th meeting, where Dyche do have a win and a draw against Conte and 2 losses. Conte with the opposite of the results there: 2 wins, a draw, and a loss. And the same against Burnley. But Sean Dyche against Tottenham, not very good. 16 games, 1 win, 4 draws, and 11 losses. Not a good record at all to talk about. So, in terms of the lineups here for Burnley, Matej Vydra remains out. James Stokowski came down with the COVID. He might be out as well. Ashley Westwood is a doubt. Charlie Taylor is also a doubt, and Johan Berg Gudmundsson, the Icelandic international, should miss this game as well. For Spurs, a pretty fit team right now with Ollie Skip, Japhet Tanganga nearing a return. Sergio Reguilon missed the last game as well, and let's see. These guys should go on to miss this game, but let's see what end up happening. Remember, there's the coronavirus around, and players pop up, injured all the time, or they're ill. So in terms of some insights here, I don't think we got anything in terms of this section on the Premier League website, but you guys know I have other sources, and let me give you some insights here. So yeah, we got Burnley have just won. They have just won 1 of their last 12 Premier League games against Spurs, drawing 3, losing 8, winning 2-1 at Turf Moor in February of 2019. Tottenham have only failed to score in 1 of their 14 Premier League games against Burnley, a 0-0 draw in April of 2015. Meanwhile, they've kept 8 clean sheets against the Clarets in the competition. Tottenham have lost just 1 of their last 20 Premier League games against sides starting the day in the relegation zone, winning 15 and drawing 4, winning each of their last 6 in a row. The only defeat in this run came at home to Newcastle in August of 2019. Burnley have won just one of their last 20 Premier League home games, right? Burnley have won just one of their last 20 Premier League home games. Drawing 11 and losing 8, beating Brentford 3-1 in October. The Clarets have scored just 15 goals in these 20 games, failing to score on 9 occasions. Burnley are looking to secure back-to-back Premier League victories for the first time since January of 2021, following their 3-0 win at Brighton last time out. The Clarets netted as many goals in that victory at Brighton as they had in their previous 9 league games combined. God damn. I'm telling you, man. So, yeah. So here it is, right? There's some information here that despite efforts to prepare amid snowy conditions in Burnley, the decision has been made to postpone the match against Tottenham due to hazardous weather conditions. Attempts to clear the pitch and the surrounding areas were defeated by further snowfall, so the game has now been called off and set to be rescheduled for a later date. God damn, I didn't even realize this. The game will be postponed, guys. Is this game going to be postponed? Let me see. Is this the same? Yep, this game will be postponed. Definitely will be postponed. So, yeah, I didn't even realize that, though. They still have it as going on, though. But, look, let me let you guys see what's going on here, man. I think this one's definitely gone. This game is done. So, this game, I ain't see nothing here, but it seems like this game is going to be postponed, though. So, I don't know if this is a previous thing or whatnot, but it says it right here, though. It says it right here. Or maybe that was earlier in the season. That gotta be earlier in the season, right? Gotta be. This game is happening. This game is definitely happening. This gotta be early on in the season, guys. Right? Am I right? This gotta be early on in the season. I think this is early on in the season, and this is not from what's actually going on right now. Because I know it's a lot of rain in England and not this kind of snowy condition. So this has to be the pre-match from... I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't see anything here, guys, in terms of news on the game being postponed, right? You see? There's nothing here. 7 hours ago. There's nothing here. Yeah, that's early on in the season. Yeah, so they still have the same things. That's very lazy of them to have that there still. So, woo, dodged the bullet there. I thought I did all of that for nothing. But anyways, in terms of my prediction for this game, though, guys, it's very hard. Let me just put it out there. Burnley, they did well in the last game, right? Against Brighton. Or maybe you could say Brighton didn't perform well enough, and that's, an effect of Brighton not doing well. But credit to Burnley, right? They've been picking up some good results. It's a tough game to play against Tottenham, who are coming off of a victory against City. It's not logical to predict a Burnley win, but we know things happen. You're playing at Turf Moor. It's windy. It might be wet. And if we check the weather at Turf Moor tomorrow, let me see weather Turf Moor Burnley. Let me see something. What's the weather forecast looking like tomorrow? What's the weather forecast looking like? It's in a day. That's what, Wednesday? The game is on Wednesday. What's the weather looking like on Wednesday? Rain. Rain all week. So you might say, okay, Tottenham beat City, but don't forget Tottenham are coming off of three L's. You see what I'm saying? Burnley are in good form. We know they have a game plan. They play scrappy football. Anything could happen in the game, right? But guys, I don't see Antonio Conte and Spurs losing this game, though. I could see them scrapping themselves to a narrow 2-1 win in this match to break Burnley's hearts and to break their momentum. because I can't. For me to predict Tottenham to lose or even draw this game, it might come off as me being kind of salty that we lost to Tottenham or something like that. Seriously, because I don't think they deserve to lose 3 on the bounce, but it just happened, and they bounce back against City. I don't see Burnley winning back-to-back games. It could happen, but I don't see it. I don't see them drawing the game either. Tottenham, 2-1 in my opinion. So, the boy Michael actually agreeing with what I'm saying here. 2-1, Kane with the late winner. Burnley thrives, playing in terrible conditions. Yes, A-Bob. But I can't see them winning or getting anything from the game. But who knows? It just might. You know what I mean? I would love if they do, though. I would actually love if they do knock Spurs off the high horse there. So, guys, that's 2 done. We got 2 more to go. And let's go into the next one. Next makeup fixture here. Arsenal versus Wolves. Ow! We've done this recently. We've done a fixture like this recently where we talked Arsenal, Wolves. These teams just played each other, I think, on match week 23, maybe? Match week 24, Arsenal defeated Wolves a 0-0 courtesy of a scrappy goal by Gabriel in the 25th minute. So, look, for these teams, Arsenal 2, Brentford 1 in their last game. Wolves 2, Leicester 1 in their last match. And the aforementioned match was their last meeting with Arsenal scrapping to a 1-0 victory over Wolves, where I heard that Arsenal were applying time-wasting tactics at 60 minutes into the game. This is appalling if you ask me, you know. But this game is coming up February 24th, this Thursday. And in terms of the last 10 matches, Wolves do have some success, winning 3 times. And they actually did the double over Arsenal last season. So kudos to Wolves. And they did win back in 2019. So since their return to the Premier League back in 2018, they do have 2 draws and 2 wins against Arsenal, with the Gunners having, well, let me see, 2 wins and 2 draws, with the Gunners having, wait, let me get this right. 2 draws and 3 losses. Arsenal only winning twice against Wolves since Wolves' return to the Premier League. So in terms of the all-time Premier League results, 15 matches, and those 3 wins for Wolves have come in their return to the Premier League. So you got to give it to Wolves. You got to give it to Nuno Espirito Santo, even though he's not in charge of the team no more. He is the one that really helped out Wolverhampton Wanderers get to this stage where they're at right now, where they could consider themselves a fabric of the Premier League these days. And 2 out of those draws, those 3 draws, have come under Nuno as well. So 3 wins and 2 draws. Before it was a one-sided record against Arsenal, where they only had a draw that you got to go back to 2011 for. So good stuff by Wolves against Arsenal recently, which just shows us that this game is not going to be an easy one to predict. It's not going to be a walk in the park for either one of these teams as well. So in terms of the 2 managers, this will be the second meeting between Lodge and Arteta. Arteta winning the only game. Arteta's 5th game against Wolves, 2 wins and a draw. 2 wins and 2 losses, pardon me. And Bruno Lodge's only game against the Gunners have been a loss. So in terms of players to watch here, for Arsenal, I went for Smith Rowe and Saka. I talked about them in the review of the match against Brentford. And these guys are the future of Arsenal. Once they play well, Arsenal will continue picking up great results. Nothing else needed to add. Wolves, I went with Ruben Neves here because Ruben Neves, or Neves, however you want to say his name, has been, a key component in the midfield here of Wolves. And when he's not there, you could see the difference. Him along with João Moutinho, the Portuguese, brigade there of Wolves. He I think is one of the most important players in the team, and the goal in the last game will look to continue his form before he signs for City next summer. I'm only putting that out there. He's not even in the rumors right now. So in terms of players here, a note: Arsenal, Gabriel Martinelli should be available after suspension. The squad is very healthy at the moment, and with the coronavirus still around, you never know. There might be an injury before, kickoff or something like that. But for Wolves, Willy Bali and Yersin Mosquera remain the only players recovering from long-term injuries, where Wolves also have a very, very fit squad available to them. In terms of some insights here for this game, Wolves, Arsenal. Let me get you something from for this game here right now. Wolves, Arsenal. Arsenal have lost just one of their last 10 home league games against Leeds. Leeds. I don't know why I keep saying Leeds. Wolves winning 5 and drawing 4. Though that defeat did come in this exact fixture last season. The Gunners are looking to complete their first league double over Wolves since the 2010-11 season. Wolves won this exact fixture 2-1 last season. They've not won back-to-back away games against Arsenal since September of 1979. Arsenal have scored in each of their last 28 games against Wolves in all competitions since a 1-0 loss in February of 1979. It's the Gunners' second longest current scoring streak against a specific opponent after a 32-game ongoing run against West Bromwich Albion. Arsenal versus Wolverhampton Wanderers this season will become the first ever Premier League match to have both meetings in a campaign played on a Thursday. The last fixture to have this happen in the top flight was Bury. Bury, and now they went into the administration. Bury versus Tottenham in 1924-25. Having lost consecutive league games at the start of December, conceding 5 goals in the process, Arsenal have just lost once in their last 8 Premier League matches, winning 6 and drawing 1. I told you guys about how well they've been playing, conceding just 4 goals and keeping 5 clean sheets during this run. So, well done by Arsenal. So, in terms of my prediction for this game, guys, my prediction for this one, look, both teams are playing some quality football. And I'm going to keep it short and sweet and say both teams are going to cancel each other out. I think the last meeting between the two teams should have ended in a draw. But, that scrappy goal by Gabriel Magalhaes and that protest by Sa wasn't VAR didn't overturn the goal. So I could actually see this one ending in a draw. And I'm going for a 1-1 draw here. A goal apiece. Quality teams this season as they look to get that top 4 spot. So if the game doesn't end in a draw, Wolves will go up to 41 points. Arsenal will go up to 43. But a win for Wolves would see them overtake Arsenal, who will still have a game in hand. But a win for Arsenal could see them leapfrog West Ham, go 1 point within United, and still have 2 games in hand and stretch their lead above Wolves to 5 and their lead above Tottenham as well. But if they do lose the game and Tottenham win, then Arsenal could get passed by Tottenham, right? But Tottenham do have an inferior goal difference, so Arsenal should remain above Tottenham here. But still, Tottenham are closing in. So this will be a good game, but I expected it to be a very, very scrappy and well contested one, to say the least. So big up to everybody watching the replay. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and for everybody who joined for the live stream as well. So Mike thinks it's going to be a boring 0-0 draw. A-Bob will also win 2-1. And big up to each and everybody in the house right about now here. So we are going to talk about the last midweek makeup fixture here, and that's a very important game between Liverpool and Leeds United. And we know this game promised to be a very, very entertaining and enthralling contest here, where you see the recent meetings between the two teams. A 3-0 win for Liverpool, but look at that 1-1 draw, and look at that 4-3 win for Liverpool since Leeds have come back into the league. So last season, Against Leeds, it wasn't a walk in the park, but this season it has been, a lot easier. So look here, man. For Liverpool, they're coming off of a 3-1 win against Norwich, and for Leeds, thrilling 4-2 loss against Manchester United. And we just talked about the last time the teams met, where Liverpool won on the road 3-0, and the previous game before that one ended in a draw, and the one before that was a 4-3 thriller we saw. So big up to the boy Johan Wissa for that equalizer. I think that was Johan Wissa with the equalizer, right, against Liverpool, if I'm not mistaken. And he would look to do the same again, in this game. That was that. No, I'm thinking about Brentford. I don't know why I'm saying Johan Wissa, but yeah. I don't know why I'm thinking the Brentford game. I'm thinking the Brentford 3-3 draw. That was a 3-3 draw against Brentford, right? It's late, guys. It is late. I don't know why I'm thinking about that draw. Maybe I want the game to draw so bad as a City fan, right? Maybe that's why. Don't know why I'm getting those games mixed up right now. But look, the draw that came last season there, Mane scored and Diego Llorente with a header in the 87th minute there. So that was a indifferent season for Liverpool, but they are doing a lot better this year. So look, in terms of the managers here, Marcelo Bielsa versus Jurgen Klopp. This will be the fourth meeting. Bielsa has never won a game against Klopp. 1 draw, 2 losses. Klopp with 2 wins and a draw. And the same record for Bielsa against Leeds, and the same record for Klopp against... Well, Klopp did have 4 matches against Leeds, 3 wins and a draw. And actually, one of those was in a cup game. I'm going to go back, and the cup game came in 2016 quarterfinals against Leeds in the EFL Cup. In that game, Divock Origi and Ben Woodburn scored. I think Ben Woodburn actually may have became the youngest goal scorer for Liverpool in that game, if I'm not mistaken. Kevin Stewart featured in that game for Liverpool. Could you imagine that? You remember a player by the name of Ovi Ejaria? These guys, listen, this is a way different Liverpool team that had the likes of Emre Can in there. Like, come on, man. Alexander Arnold had just started his career at Liverpool from the academy. So, that seems like ages ago. It was actually ages ago, you know what I mean? It was a long time. So, for players to watch in this game, Salah and Mane, I think they will both feature, because Klopp can't keep these guys off the field. You cannot take teams for granted and do too much resting. Even though the players are stepping might, end up doing a good job. But Salah and Mane should both be involved. I don't expect Klopp to go in with Minamino and Oxlade-Chamberlain on the wings with Divock Origi through the center, or, you know what I mean? No experimental type front line like that, or who knows, they could actually suffer. So I expect to see Sadio Mane and Salah going at it again. These guys will be involved in African World Cup qualifiers like they did in the high-stake AFCON final, where Salah will look to get the better of Mane the next time around. For Leeds, I'm going to go with Rafinha. I think, he's had, some poor set of games, but he came back against United with that goal. Expect him to start. Expect him to put on a display for maybe Liverpool to sign him next summer. You know what I mean? Maybe if you can't beat them, join them. So let's see how he does in this game, but he would definitely be one to watch. So in terms of notes for Liverpool, Diego Jota was a big miss in the last game and will remain a big miss, because I think he will remain out, along with Firmino, who also missed the last game and should miss this one too. But I have to make a note that Divock Origi, now fit again, and Luis Diaz, newly brought into the team, provides adequate cover for those aforementioned stalwarts in Jota and Firmino. So No other real injury concerns for this Liverpool squad. And I did mention for Liverpool to actually compete for the title this season and in all competitions, they need a fit squad, and they have a fit squad right now. Even when the squad had setbacks, it seems like Liverpool found a way to combat that. For Leeds, who I mentioned and call them right now treatment table FC. I've been dealing with a lot of injuries, but quite a few players are back, but players are keep going out. Liam Cooper, Calvin Phillips would remain out for this one. Robin Koch came off in the last game with a head injury. He's doubtful. Patrick Bamford, Leo Haldy, and Sam Greenwood could all miss the game as well. So Leeds really hampered by injuries. The squad is not the biggest squad at all, and they continue to be stretched. So in terms of some insights for this one here. I'm working overtime. By the way, if you're watching this right now, I'm working overtime doing a midweek preview of 4 matches. I've already done match week 26 roundup. So if you haven't checked that out, go check it out. And I'm here doing a midweek preview here, man. So Liverpool have won their last 3 Premier League home games against Leeds in 10 goals in the process. They last won more consecutively against them at Anfield in the league between 1973 and 1978, 6. Leeds have lost, both Premier League meetings with Liverpool in a season on 4 previous occasions: 96, 97, 98, 97, 98, 99, 2000, and 2002, 2003. Only in 1996, 97 did the Whites fail to score in either of their league meetings with the Reds in a season in the competition. So Liverpool could do the double and keep 2 clean sheets against Leeds this season. Liverpool have only failed to score in one of their last 23 league meetings with Leeds in all competition, netting in each of their last 16 in a row since a goalless draw in April of 1999. Liverpool will face Leeds on a Wednesday for the first time since February of 1997, when they won 4-0 in a Premier League match, and they were 3-0 ahead at halftime. They have won their last 5 games against the Whites played on a Wednesday by an aggregate of 13-0, since Leeds won a 2-0 in an FA Cup 4th round replay in February of 1972, with Alan Clark scoring a brace at Ellen Road. Liverpool are the only side unbeaten at home in the Premier League this season, winning 9 and drawing 3, and have conceded a league low 7 goals at Anfield so far this term. So you know what that means. I don't need to say anything else. I don't need to add anything else. In terms of my prediction, Liverpool are winning this game. I'm going to go for 3-1. I'm going to go for them to concede a goal. They've been conceding some goals lately. But they're not losing the game. They're winning the game. Let me put it that way. Liverpool are winning this game, just like I predicted them to beat Norwich. They're winning this game. Is there a possibility of any upset happening here? Not one possibility of an upset. And I say this confidently, simply because Leeds just do not know how to defend. They have all these injuries, and Liverpool are in imperious form right now. And I see nothing but a Liverpool win 3-1. Expect Klopp to rotate again. 7 changes in the last game. Maybe he'll make 7 more this time around, or maybe not. But expect maybe players like Milner and Harvey Elliott to be involved this time around. And maybe Konate could get a run out. Who knows, man? Who knows what he'll do? Maybe Origi. But even with changes in the team, expect them to beat a Leeds United team who just don't have any game management skills. Just don't know how to defend. They're all over the place. They can hurt you if you yourself do not keep them out. They can hurt you. But at the same time, even though they score, they will concede. They will concede because they just don't have that defensive stability. And I think that is something that Bielsa needs to change. Maybe he doesn't need to change anything because they survived last season and they almost, halfway over the line to survive again. But I think this will be another setback. They're going to lose back-to-back games. Big loss against United, and they lose against the Reds, as Liverpool would close in on Manchester City 3 points. 3 points behind City. No, without a game in hand, but 3 points behind City to set up the perfect title race. Got to give it to the Reds. They've been playing some quality football. Leeds, not so much this season at all. Not so much. So in terms of the next fixtures, I got to get that for you. Definitely got to get that for you. Liverpool will face Chelsea in the EFL Cup. I did mention that early on in the stream, but just for formality, do have Norwich in the FA Cup. Do have West Ham in the league and Inter Milan on March 8th in the second leg of the Champions League around the 16 game. As for Leeds, who are struggling in 15th with 23 points, they are in a relegation scrap. They are in there right now. They are in there. They haven't been in good form. 1 win in their last 5. And after they play Liverpool, they do play Tottenham, Leicester, Aston Villa. Some tough games coming up for the White Roses of Leeds United. So that's it for my mini prediction of the midweek rearranged fixtures. Thank you very much for sharing your predictions. I'm your boy Dom. I'll speak to you soon. Okay? But yeah, guys, 3 hours and a half. Oh my God, I'm tired as hell. It's 1 a.m. If I go to sleep now, I'll actually get about close to 4 hours sleep, but I'm not going to go to sleep now. I want to clip out a couple of these things that I've talked about and get them up on the channel. I usually would have done that, on the go, but my laptop broke. Thanks to my little boy Liam, my laptop broke. I do have another laptop I can take, but that one does not work properly. I should actually take it to work, I should pull out the dinosaur and take it to work. But what happened, my editing program, Final Cut Pro, it just freezes a lot on the laptop. I should take it, I should try my luck with it and get some sleep. I think I should do that. What do you guys think? Give me some advice. There's Champions League football coming up tomorrow as well. And before we go, we still do have over 100 people in here. Let's look at the Champions League, man. The champions. All right, let's look at the Champions League, baby. Come on, let me just get that up and get that going. Okay, Champions League. Let's take a look at the Champions League. Big up to everybody in here. Thanks for tuning in. It has been one of the most successful live streams this season, simply because we lost. We lost and Liverpool won, and there's a title race on again. Everybody's happy. 217 likes. Guys, smash up the thumbs up button for the live stream. I would definitely appreciate that. And thanks for the love. Look, let's take a look at the Champions League again here. And the round of 16. A quick recap. City beat Sporting 5-0. Paris Saint-Germain beat Real Madrid, courtesy of a brilliant individual goal by Kylian Mbappe. Salzburg shot Bayern Munich with a 1-1 draw. Liverpool toppled Inter Milan with a 2-0 win on the road. And we have games coming up later today with Chelsea taking on Lille. Look, Chelsea should beat Lille, man. Chelsea should beat Lille, but Lille are a dangerous team. But Chelsea should get the better of Lille in the first leg here at Stamford Bridge. Villarreal versus Juventus would be a more watchable game in my opinion, because it's a game that is very tricky. This Villarreal team has been on the up, won the Europa League with Unai Emery, and Juventus under Max Allegri back at the helm has been misfiring somewhat and find themselves in a position where they may not win the Serie A title once again. The games on Wednesday are very juicy. And Wednesday night is where I will come back to talk Champions League. Benfica versus Ajax. This one, I could see Ajax getting the better of Benfica in this tie, to be honest. The Villarreal-Juventus thing, it could go anywhere, as I mentioned. I would love to see Villarreal go through. And sorry, Juventus fans, but I would love to see Villarreal go through. And then we have that one between Atletico Madrid and Man United, where Atleti has been so this season, to say the least. They've been conceding goals uncharacteristically, but they come up against a United team where we don't know what would happen there. I hope United get knocked out of the Champions League, to be completely honest. Knock him out. You see what I'm saying? They will be at the Wanda Metropolitano. So we do have games coming up in the Europa League and the Europa Conference League, but we will touch on those ones when we do talk Champions League on Wednesday. Okay, guys? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, look, man, big up to everybody who tuned into this one. This has been one of the longest live streams this season, 3.5 hours, and it was fun. It was highly anticipated, and I got it done. I got it done, man. I'm tired, man. I've been talking a lot. I'm tired. Freaking tired, and I have a long day ahead of me. Guys, look, Newcastle are coming. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do next summer. Keep your eye on that one. Weapons formed against us shall not prosper, says Abab. Big Man United fan. You know, so big up to everybody who came through. Big up to Mr. We have a George in here. Michael Talks Football. MVP Kev. Abab. Javay in the house, man. Everybody, man. Everybody. And Javay dropping a good thing here. 4 times we beat Spurs. 4 times beating against yeah, I know. Whatever, man. Whatever. Keep rubbing it in. But guys, it was a fun one. Thanks again for tuning in to this one. I gotta go and get some rest. I see what I could do in terms of clips. Let me actually start downloading this one. Let me set that up to download this stream as soon as I'm done. And thanks very much for the continued support on the channel. Remember, this is a marathon. I'll be doing this for a while. I'll be doing this while I work. I do have a career. I do have other things going on. I have 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot going on, and I still manage to do this. So this is not a full-time thing. So when I don't show up right away, I still will show up. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these, you know, other football channels are very difficult to compete with. I'm not in any competition with anybody, you know what I mean? These guys are doing this thing full-time. I'm just a part-time creator, just, you know, following my team and just talking World Cup and international football and all that kind of good stuff, though. So, look, I did forget to mention the whole Phil Foden situation where his mom got into a fight at a boxing match. And what I have to say about that, the mom should have chilled. I think she was a bit audacious, you know what I'm saying? She should have calmed herself down. But the guy who she got into the fight with should have never, you know, laid a hand on her. That was very tasteless of that gentleman. And then the whole thing that happened afterwards with the freaking fire extinguisher, and, you know, it was just, and Phil Foden just they can't do nothing because I don't know if he's actually capable of doing anything, and I'm glad he didn't get himself caught up in any kind of you know, fight, like he was really involved and he got beat up or anything. I'm glad he didn't get into any drama there. So that's something that I didn't actually mention, but it was actually a kind of funny video, and it was white on white violence as well. So you know, it was whatever, man, whatever. You know, not to be racial or anything. I'm just saying it's better. It's better than the other way around, or, you know, whatever, man. But guys, anyways, man, for your boy Dominic Rich, thanks for tuning into another one. Appreciate you guys 100,000,000,000%. And we'll talk again for match week 27 preview, the Champions League games as well coming up this week, and a lot more content from your boy Dom. I've been doing this since 2017, so I'm 5 years deep in this. So, look, I'm going to do things at my own pace these days, okay? But thanks, man. Thanks. It was a highly anticipated live stream. You guys came out in your numbers, and we're looking to do it big for the remainder of the season. Peace out, guys. Love you. Rich Squad. Peace.